Oh, alright. What's up, summoners? King Blair here. I know this is a little unorthodox time, and my streams are usually not this late, but I wanted to make a quick stream just to kind of do certain things and have a little bit more fun. So, today what we're going to be doing is two things. So, if y'all didn't know, we just had a tournament this past Sunday, or this Saturday, sorry, the days are just melting together. That we did a tournament that was a squad strike. It was a ton of fun, and one of the members, TC, who also was a little bit helping co-host, and one of the participants helped me make a spreadsheet with all the information for that tournament that we're gonna be going over today. As well as, if you guys didn't know, I did start their own channel guild, and it's popping. Officially started, and we got the people. It's been a good experience. I put the signups earlier in the week. We're kind of stumping right now, but what I wanted to do was a lot for my guildies, and also kind of go over their defenses, say whether or not I like them, if I think they can actually compete at a top 100 level, what I think if it's good, if it's bad, what are some things that I think are very unique, and what are some things we can improve. So hopefully by doing this, you can also learn on how to make a better defense yourself. So that's what we're doing. Let me put the announcement up in the Discord and make sure that all the sounds and everything are working as intended. All right. And that is about to send. Okay. So, as we mentioned, tournament stats, Guild Wars defenses, and all that good stuff. So, it's gonna be a good time. All right? So, I'm excited for it. Hopefully you guys are excited too to get to learn a little bit. So let's do the Guild Wars defenses first, kind of going over, because that's the thing that, like, I feel like a lot of people, especially with the new season, if you're trying to improve your Guild Wars defenses, it's something that you do want to do to try to improve them, right? So hopefully, let's go over the ones that my guildies have put up. They're pretty spicy. I do like them. I have seen a lot of them. They have posted a lot of them. We kind of talked about them a little bit, so I expect nothing but spice on these Guild Wars defenses. So let's just go through it. And hey, what's up, Olivia? It's very late for me. So I'm starting very late tonight, so it will not be a super long stream. But hey, what's up, Voldius? But alright. So just going through the different Guild Wars defenses. Why are you angry? Whoa. Alright, let's go over the Guild Wars defenses that my guild has put up. And some things that I'm like, okay, this is really nice. And then this is something that's really bad. And oh yeah, 8 a.m. is way too early. Just go back to sleep. Wake up in 2 hours. I'm just kidding. Tomorrow is Tuesday, right? Yeah, tomorrow is Tuesday. But so just going over this first defense, right? So some things that are really good, some things that are really bad. This is a very, very aggressive team composition overall. So one of the biggest things, and another thing is it doesn't defend against Seaside Bologna too well. This defense could be easily baited with something like a SC Doris that a lot of people do have access to, and then just SSB down the T-Surin and have any other unit as the fourth pick to deal with the rest. And hey, what's up, Primark? And oh man, that's really early for uni. I'm so happy that we're done and it's winter break. So it's a good time. It's winter break. But yeah, we'll go over all of them, right? Oh, it is your defense. Yeah. So this first one, very aggressive, can be locked down by Doris. What can be done good. And then what's up, Javon? What can be done good with this defense, though, is that it can catch people off guard with high amount of damage, so it's not easy to tank out. Personally, if you could switch something like the Rylet to like a Fallen Cecilia, that would be like super amazing. Or something more defensive, even like a Rowana, where it would help with Discern. The other thing you can do is change this Rylet to something like a Broman, since that way with the Broman, you now have the access to silence their healers, silence as he said Bologna, and then come in and do high amount of damage that will just wipe the team, right? So switching this Rylet for either a Broman or even a Cerise that's able to strip the immunity, so you're able to come in with T-Cern and Arbiter Vildred and kind of finish the job with these two high damage dealing units. The Rylet doesn't serve much of a purpose, and it's just going to be baited by any type of light bait, whereas a Broman can be a lot more crushing. But yeah, Broman would be amazing in place of Rylet. It would catch a lot more people off guard. It would just make it so it can stun and then it's over. For the second team, I have never been a fan of Athleticus in Guild Wars defenses. Why? There's only 3 units. So you're not getting that OP part of Athletica where you can hit all the units and push up and then have some insane amount of like pressure right? And right now, it's like this team wants to take first turn, right? But it's the thing is, you already have first turn guaranteed with either a Sid or Sage Ball and Sasan. You're not getting cleaved. Just a Sid already stops the cleave, right? So there's no reason to have so much speed units. I would personally either you can keep the Sage Ball, but have something more threatening to tank teams. Because right now, this is just easily tanked out. There's no reason that you can't just take an A Tywin to this, take something that can just tank this defense out and just do the rest of the work. Again, something more defensive, something more RNG, something maybe like a Charles, since if they're trying to go tanky. You can also try going something like Rella Light, something even like a Crawl for when they start focusing, or a Rella Light. Again, Rella Light being really good because then you can just revive the Sid and go over and over again. Not a fan of Athletica. The Sage Ball, I'm still playing around with it. I'm still not too sure if it's the best unit because F Maya and things like F Maya can just tank this team, and it's pretty much that's it. So I'm not sure about Sage Ball, but over time it could be a little bit better. But if it's Charles, then you would need another defensive unit to make it work a little bit better. So that's first defense, and that's kind of what we're gonna be doing, kind of going over the different defenses of the guild. So this one, very cookie cutter. It's super cookie cutter. The Karon's there for cleave, the FCC's there for cleave. There are varying elements. So with fire and RB, you can do high amount of damage. It's actually a really standard defense. What some people will do is change the RB for something like a Charles. If this was a counter RB, this defense would be absolutely toxic. And it's really scary. It's something that you can't really, it's hard to do. They would have to like somehow out tank. So this is very, very powerful. RNG does make defenses scary. Yeah. So there's no RNG to this. That is true as well. And you can just easily out cleave it. For this one, I'm a big fan of this one. With the Broman and the Tenet, I'm actually a big fan. The last one, maybe switch the RB instead of the Vivian, because that's a way more threatening defense. If you're able to strip with the Broman, set up decreased defense, and then RB it down, that's a lot more threatening than the Vivian, because the Vivian takes a little too long to set up. So I would personally switch the RB into this defense and try to find maybe even like a Charles in this defense to have that RNG aspect. And if this person had T-Surin, this being one of the most common defenses is FCC, T-Surin, Charles. Because Charles adds the RNG factor, adds the strip factor, adds the anti-cleave, and protects the T-Surin from being attacked. Because if they try to AoE cleave you, Elris is going to proc, that Charles will attack. And then it's just GG, because we all know Charles is kind of crazy. So that's my recommendation would be if they had a T-Surin or a Charles to put it in here and to put the RB here. This defense is actually pretty nasty and pretty scary, because if it goes right, it goes right. It all's depending on your Broman, right? If your Broman is stupid fast, you're going to be getting a lot of defenses when people try to cleave you. So I think not bad, right? It's looking really nice. We haven't seen any bait defenses. Oh, this one. This one is just a Spectre Tenebria can just tear this one apart. Because there's no AoE past the El Craw. There's no damage threat to this. That's the big thing. There's not really any damage threat. And yeah, El Craw does a lot of damage. Yes, Craw is really, really strong because you're able to take one unit away. But I don't see this really stopping a Spectre Tenebria or any other, like even like any unit that can hide, or you can just tank out the Emo Haste, right? Tank out the Emo Haste, tank out the Crawl, and then just heal and sustain and win the fight. You can easily use an Acades and tank the Crawl and heal up. There's not enough damage threat on this one. That's my only gripe with this one is the damage threat. It's a little bit lacking. But it can still catch people off guard if this El Crawl is very, very fast, if this Crawl is very, very tanky, and if they're very high FRS. So, yeah. Spectre TM El Crawl, FCC, and Karon, yeah. There's a lot of different ways to do different things. For the second team, so again, I am not a fan of Faithless Lidica in arena defenses. I just think it's disappointing. I would almost put like the RB here, or put a T-Surin instead of that Mohaze, and then this is a lot scarier if there's a T-Surin. T-Surin here would actually be really nasty, right? Like right here, this would be a T-Surin, would be pretty nasty. Even the RB, or even the Karon, to put more damage threat, to be like, okay, this could actually get dangerous, because Karon can have knife and kill someone. That's really scary. This team, it's like, again, if I put a General Purgus, this team's gone, right? General Purgus, Emo Haze, and any damage dealer. GG. I win, right? Yeah, FCC, Emo Haze. There's so many ways to deal with the second defense. Again, I don't know why people like putting their Faithless Lidica so much in arena defense. I don't think it's that good. It is a good trap for certain people that just want to cleave if it's a very fast one. But I don't know. This one, it's just, I'm not a fan. Again, a Broman would be so much stronger. Even something like Basar, people would have to have their Holiday U Fiends or something to try to stop them from getting stripped and get hit by the Arbiter Vildred. And then it'd be a little bit better. But the Faithless Lidica, not the greatest. Just changing that Faithless Lidica makes this defense a lot better. And I know I'm being kind of harsh, but it's just because like I just want to show you guys like from what I fight. And we're going to see my defense. And y'all, I'm going to hate on it too because it's not perfect, right? There's definitely things I can improve on my defense as well. So for Cooch, oh man, Dark Corvus is so easy to deal with. This is just Emil Haste and put out a Tywin or Emil Haste, Stene, and any unit that... Even top model Luluka, there's no defense mitigation. There's no damage mitigation on this first team. There is no damage mitigation on this first team. This Arby can just get killed by every single unit in this game that has Extinction. And then this is a non-factor, and it's not going to do anything anytime soon. And it's a single target, so anything will beat it. Oh, I do not have no idea how your defense. You should send me the defense again so I can put it up, Cabbage. But yes, it is a very late stream. It is very real for me. Honestly, I really need to say, y'all, Athletic on defense is not that great. You're not getting anything that is that great, Olivia. I really should be like, y'all, take your Athleticas off. But I'm not. I want them to experiment, right? The whole idea of this guild is A, for content, B, for people to learn and grow. So hopefully, like, I'll recommend them to watch this because I did go over every defense. This second one is actually not bad. Not gonna lie, this second one is actually not bad. Charles and Kayron, if this is a speed Charles on Elris Sword, and this is an immunity Kayron that's decently fast, it's actually not a bad defense. Of course, Fallen Cecilia would make this a lot better, but I'm actually okay with this defense. I actually think this one's pretty scary, can win a lot of fights, can win against Cleave, can win against certain control teams, and if depending on the speed tuning, can be really, really scary with the Kayron. So, could be really good, assuming this is a speed Charles on Elris. So, again, it can be cleaved just because Charles can be cleaved, but then you can take something away with the Kayron. So, this one's actually okay. This one needs a little bit of work. I would just, honestly, you have an Arbiter Vildred, pair him up with a T-Cern or another damage dealer and like a Broman or a Stripper for a high damage comp, or put it in a more tanky comp with Ruella Light and maybe like another Knight. Like if you have even a Ross. I know Ross is not that great, but even a Ross and then putting your RB on counter MLDB would be really good for that. But this is not really doing much for him. It's not stopping Top Model Luluka from just tearing him apart. Top Model Luluka will just tear this apart to pieces. Like Top Model will literally just solo this team. Alright, so our first fortress. So ours. So I'm actually... He's someone that's been in the Discord for a very long time. No, it's not top 100. I just want to get as far as I can, Quinn. So my goal is to get as far as possible. Push these players that are all like challenger level as far as they can possibly go. And hopefully they'll learn and become better players and enjoy the game. Because Guild Wars is so fun. I actually really like Guild Wars when you really get into it. It's a really good experience. And it brings a lot of camaraderie. But for ours... Again, this is pretty good. Again, I mentioned Broman is a big, big threat, and I know he has a really fast Broman with really high effectiveness. The Arbiter Vildred to make use of that damage, and the Kayron, again, to just finish something off. So, very, very solid. Yeah, 3 attacks per day. I know, that kind of sucks that it's not as often, but it's still fun. Second team, again, pretty nasty. The only problem is I would honestly switch the Falconeer Clury for Roana. But it still functions because Falconeer Clury will go on Seaside Bellona. So, because of the interaction with this to Seaside Bellona, it's not as easy to Seaside Bellona this defense. So, it functions because T-Cern is still a big threat. You still have the Aureus on Craw, making it harder to kill the T-Cern. You still have the Craw that if you do too much AoE, he can come in and horse someone. And you have the F-Clury to put the decreased defense on the Seaside Bellona and come in with T-Cern. Of course, Roana would be a lot better. FCC would be a lot better. But yeah, so this one's pretty good. I like it. That's why I put him in Fortress, because I was like, this is a pretty solid defense. Rikuru, this one I actually like. So personally, I know there's people that will say, oh, just cleave it with Singelica. But what makes this defense really nice is if he has a very tanky Rella Light and a very tanky Emoken, you can't really cleave this easily. And this Emoken could do a lot of work if they try to kill the Spectre T. So I'm actually a really big fan of these type of defenses. I actually really, really like Emoken, Rella Light, Stana defenses. I know they have counters, but they're a lot rarer. So I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of this one. The second one, oh yeah, FCC, A Tywin. Oh, that's crazy. If this was a T-Cern, this would be just like, dang, that's just 30. Still really good. Very, very tanky. And the Arbiter Vildred can do a lot of damage, especially if this is a counter set Moonlight Dreamblade Arbiter Vildred. It could be really, really good. He did get a defense could. So we'll see how we do this next Wednesday when the fights get a little bit harder. And that's when I'll probably start seeing. Oh yeah, that's the big one. SSB. Yeah. That's probably the biggest problem. You're right. Second one, yeah. That's the only thing. It's hard to guard against everything. But this one, I still really like it, but it can be SSB. But it depends. If it's a really good MOCAN, really good Royale, I don't know. I like it. It's maybe because my SSB is scuffed, but the Annie could be nice. This, I honestly want to use it Cerise. Cerise would be really good here instead of a Tywin. Maybe moving the a Tywin, that wouldn't work that well. I know people use Craw, Ruel, Stena, and it works decently well. Oh yeah, I'll check it in a second. Let me. So I'll show you guys this defense. I have no idea how this defense does good, but it just shows that you can be creative. Yes, I would actually switch to the Ruella Light. This is way too defensive. I would move the Ruella Light with the Kayron. This one's weird. I kind of like it because you can. It's Earth to counter SSB. Cerise is just really good overall to get rid of immunity as well early. Kayron for damage. You could probably Dizzy this though. If your Dizzy's tanky enough, you could just Dizzy this one. And then the Kayron can't do much. Just tank the Kayron with something. And then wait till they use their skills. And then if it's a slow counter Dizzy, they could probably S3 right here. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see how this one will do actually. This top one. This top one I would change to Roller Light. I don't think Roller Light does much in that defense. Roller Light just feels like I could just F Clary top model Luluka this and then it's GG. There's no damage threat. I would switch this for a Kayron or even T-Cern. T-Cern would be perfect right here. If Vertitian had a T-Cern, it'd be crazy. Lila is usually better. Okay, I'll check Cabbage's defense in a little bit. Yes, there's always like you can't make the perfect Guild Wars defense. But the reason why Charles is so good is because it's so much RNG, and the reason why T-Cern is so good because you can't Dark Corvus a T-Cern. That's why T-Cern is actually so good, because T-Cern you can't really Dark Corvus, and then if you try to cleave, there's so much. Like the best defense I would say is switching this for T-Cern, and that defense is just broken. This defense, it's interesting. I like the Cerise to strip. I like that he has 2 damage threats, but depending on the speed, you could probably outspeed and just cleave this. So yeah, sometimes winning isn't the important part. Sometimes just taking a unit. Like Kayron will always take a unit if it's built properly. Like this Tim will take a unit, which is nice. Because if you take a unit and then they fight someone else and don't have that unit, then you did your job as a defense. That's good. Oh man, I hate Athletica on Arena and Guild Wars defense. It's just General Purgus just destroys it. Or any unit on Idol's Cheer with any speed contester. It's just rough. And then you can just tank. You can tank these 2 with the Doris. Doris being a really good unit, so stacking too much Dark is bad. The Ian one, this will catch some people off guard though. Like some lower level guilds. Like yeah, see? Some lower level people that aren't ready for the speed and try to cleave or something will lose to this. So it's a good bait defense. T-Cern I like. Arbiter Builder I like. If this was a Broman, this would be so much better. If this was a Broman and these were both speedy units, this defense would be amazing. If this was a Broman, RB, T-Cern, it'd be amazing. I guess it's the same idea with Ian. It's just it doesn't have the silence potential that Broman has. So that's the only difference. This top one, I've never been a fan of Athletica. It's just I just feel like it's too easy to counter. And like the higher up you go in Guild Wars, the more ways people have to deal with cleave. It still will catch people off guard, but that's true. But the only thing with like T-Cern, that's why people also bring the Charles for the extra damage threat. And then the FCC to try to lock it down. Ooh, I have seen this defense before. It's very aggressive. It used to be a really good defense actually. I forgot what happened to this defense. If this Arbiter Vildred and this Rylid are stupid fast. Oh, I remember what happened to it. Doris happened. So since Doris came out as a unit, this defense is no like this is not longer that much that good. The higher you go, really good early on because people don't have Doris. People haven't built their Doris. People have not built their Dorises yet. But if you literally have a Doris, this defense is like nothing. Like, Doris will literally just tank this Rylot for days, give your team increased defense, heal, sustain, let you kill with your Emil Hayes, with your Tamano Luluka, with your little light. It's just, yeah, Doris happened. I forgot about Doris. Doris killed this defense so hard, dude. Doris actually destroyed this defense. SC Doris for Guild Wars. If you haven't done it and you want to be competitive in Guild Wars, build your specialty change Doris. She's probably one of the best units for defenses. Akades, another really good one. F Maya, another really good one. Because again, attacking in Guild Wars, it's all about consistency, which is why the reason Emil Hayes and Rill are so good for offenses, and why Dark Corvus too, because you know Dark Corvus is gonna do what he's gonna do. Second team, pretty cool. I like it. Lilia's T-Cern is nice, but there's not a lot of guards against Seaside. There's some guards against Seaside, but this T-Cern has to be lifesteal. There's the Aureus to protect the T-Cern. If this was Ron, it'd be really good, but the series is pretty nice too. A lot of dual attacks. This could be really crazy with dual attacks. Because they could always, like, you could get the RNG where you always dual attack with your T-Cern, and then your T-Cern will never die because she just keeps healing off of the lifesteal set, off the dual attacks. That's what I was thinking too with the SSB and the Cerise one, but I was thinking they could get lucky enough. Cerise S3 if it's high effectiveness. This can high effectiveness hit, and this if it's a damage Lilia's, it could do pretty good. Again, Rowana would be really good right here as well, just for anti-SSB. These are being the best Guild Wars defense unit, but not bad. Higher up, like, here's the thing. Before I continue talking about defenses, there's something you guys have to realize about arena defenses. I should probably preface by saying this. There is so many threats, which is why if you go pretty high up in Guild Wars defenses, you will only see 4 to 5 different defenses. And they're all about the same because they're the most optimized to deal with everything. What do you have to worry about? You have to worry about Dark Corvus. You have to worry about specialty change Doris. You have to worry about Akades. You have to worry about Angelic Momoranti. You have to worry about Seaside Bellona. You have to worry about just cleave. Just getting cleaved, honestly. Just getting cleaved. You have to worry about people bringing A-Town. You have to worry about people bringing Emil Haste. There's so many things to worry about that it's like you can't guard against everything. You can only guard against as much as possible. Most people will, if there's 2 defenses like this that can't be SSB'd, you can only pick one defense to SSB. That's why it's like defenses like this can still work, because if you use SSB up here, you can't use SSB up here unless you have 2 SSBs. And hey, what's up, Jeremy? But yeah, that's like, you can't make the perfect defense, so you can only make it as strong as possible. For this one, a specialty change Doris just kills this one. I would honestly switch the Rylot for like an FCC, or I would change the Rylot with the Lilius even. And if this, again, counter RB is gonna be the best RB for Guild Wars. Counter RB on MLDB, unless you're using Broman Tenebria, then you would want the speed RB. So this defense used to work really, really well because if both these units were stupid fast, you could kill a lot of units. It can still kill, but especially the change Doris does hurt. So that means that for where we are, it's really good. So it's honestly fine for where we are right now. Same with this one. Most people won't be able to deal with it all the time. But alright. Let me show you guys this defense. And this is a top 100 guild. And they fight against top 100 guilds all the time. If you look at this defense, you would think, how the heck are they winning? How the heck is this defense winning? And it still shocks me how it's still winning. But I'm pretty sure it's because people keep trying to cleave this defense because they just want to cleave it, or they try to SSB it because they're like, oh, I don't see a Rowana. And then they come, and this is a top 100 guild, by the way. And then they come in and they're like, oh, let me cleave. And then they get Elris Sword, or they miss on the Violet 2 times. And then they just get hit by this, and then they just somehow get one-shot. I do not know how it works, but it works so well, and it shouldn't. The second defense as well, it doesn't have a damage threat, but it's so much sustain and anti-control, and you can't really one-shot any of these units. So Dark Corvus is kind of your only option to deal with this defense reliably, and not everyone has Dark Corvus. So if you don't have Dark Corvus, you might get out-tanked by this defense if you try to go too aggressive, or you're going to get so tilted that you're just going to quit the fight. So this one, surprisingly annoying, and it makes people not want to fight you. And then this one, people are just underestimating it because they see Violet. So it's a really good bait defense for a tower. I do not know how people lose to that. Oh, Emil Sigurd will make it so much easier. Emil Sigurd will be really, really nice. Yeah, also limit her hero pool is really, really hard. Elcraw is also a really good defensive unit. Alright, we see my tower right here, and y'all are about to roast my tower. And I know my tower is not the best one. I do have to improve it. You're a fort? I'm surprised. People must underestimate you. I don't know how people haven't just like reported on the fortunes like, hey, this violet, don't underestimate it. It's actually a good violet. So it always shocks me. Yeah, you could always watch, yeah. Or Surmia it. You could Surmia it, actually. Just Oxlot Surmia and then like roll a light. Just Surmia, boop, kill one, boop, kill the other, and then just slowly whittle down the craw. And then just win that way. Surmia really good too in offense. Like there's so many good offenses. Again, big fan of Broman in defenses. I still think Broman is really, really solid because of how much RNG he adds, especially when paired with Arbiter Vildred, because of the high damage capabilities. I still really like this combo. I don't know why. The F Clary anti-C side, it works and it will help you kill with the RB. So at worst, you'll take a unit away from them. So that's good. You can take units away from them with this team. But again, you can probably just put like water bait for the F Clary, a Doris, and then just tank it out because there's not that much sustain. You could probably just tank this team out. That's why usually this will be a T-Seren or another damage dealing unit, just so you can finish off the job. So honestly, this was like a Tenebria or a T-Seren, it would be really, really good. Like just another damage threat. For the second one, a lot of people actually struggle against this one because Fallen Cecilia with Rylet, you can miss every time and get tilted and lose that way. We also have to worry about Landy now. So there's that. You can actually have a Landy or ML Sigrid to actually deal with this defense now, which I think is crazy. But it's still a really good defense. I still really like it. There are ways to get around it. CSAT also kind of destroys this defense a little bit. So this was an ML Craw, maybe a little bit better, but then you're prone to getting Melissa. So, can only do so much, right? Still being pretty nice, still being pretty annoying, but people already know how to deal with Rylet. You can just tank this one too. Just put a specialty change Doris and slowly tank this one out. So this one being another damage threat would be nice, or being a support that can deal with both CSAT Bellona or even with something like Doris, right? So like maybe a Kayron would be good there. Guards against SSB pretty well, and if this is a counter Dreamblade, RB could be really strong. Again, ML Sigrid can just kill this team pretty easily with like a Singelica. Like a Singelica, Sigrid. There's always ways to stop things. That's what you gotta remember. But overall, I think it's a good defense. Guards against Seaside, guards against Cleave. Could be a counter RB, so it could ruin your day. Oh man, I don't know about the second one though. This is weird. It guards against Cleave, so that's good. Oxlot's Cleave at least. And Singelica, so that's cool. Doris is annoying. Holiday Youthfiend? I don't know about this one. I feel like I would just care on this defense. Personally. Good bait defense though. If people aren't expecting it or forget what Celine does. Sometimes that does happen to me. I forget what Celine does every once in a while and I'm like, man. I would change this defense. I don't like... Celine is interesting. This defense is okay. This defense is interesting. I don't know about Holiday Youthfiend in this defense. That's literally it. It's just yeah, easy Kayron. Kayron kills here, and then you just DPS her down with something else. And make sure you just don't bring Dark. You'll catch people off guard if they decide to bring Dark. This one's interesting. I feel like I would just try to lab something different. Maybe see how it does, and if it doesn't do good, try to lab something different. DC my friend, so he's the one that compiled the list of results. I actually have tested this against him. He has a very tanky Stene. This is basically an SSB passive, and I know this is on Bastion, so it's giving immunity and a thick barrier. And then the cross is there for the AoE. Could take units out just because I know how tanky the Stene is, so it's a really good bait defense. Just loses to SSB though. Deanny plus SSB just eats this team alive. Doris, Deanny, SSB just eat this team alive. But you always have the chance with Craw to take someone out. So there's that. The second team, I like the Fallen Cecilia. I like the T-Seren. If this was a Charles, and I know he has a Charles. I know he has a Charles. I need to tell him, yo, put your Charles right here, get free dubs. Charles in this defense would just make this like dummy scary. That would actually be one of the best defenses that we have. Big fan of this. Big fan of this. This should be an RB, another high damage threat, like a T-Seren or something. That does damage. Because right now you can just tank this out. Or just Momo it. You could just Momo this one. Just use Angelic Montmorency and any two like Bruisers and you can kill this defense. Because there's not that much damage threat. So switching the mate Chloe for something more threatening would be good. Especially the change Sora's, he's getting so many wins because it's such a good bait defense. Since we're very low, it's very smart for him to do this. Because low level guilds will attack this, thinking it's a bad defense, but I know his gear is like not bad. So this is really good for baiting early on. But on Wednesday, we'll probably need to change this to a damage dealer. This one is just weird to me. It's a lot of AoE, but you could just cleave it. You actually could just cleave this defense. With any cleave, would cleave this. There's just no cleave protection. Unless this is like a stupid fast landy. Like if this is a 270 speed landy, then you're going to get wins with bait. Right? So this is a dummy fast landy. I don't know why you wouldn't put another big damage dealer here and another big damage dealer here. So it could be a good bait defense, but to be seen. Alright, now my defense, who I'm also going to rip into. Y'all know I'm going to rip into my own defense. This is a tank Rylot. So I know that, but a lot of people know how to deal with Rylot. I would personally just do fucking your Clary. And top model Luluka. And I win against his defense. So it's not the greatest out there. My second defense as well, ideally that's a Cerise. So the idea behind this is ideally this would be a Broman. And then I could have a Broman, have a damage A Tywin, and have a Charon. Honestly, not the best defense. Like, I'm actually not happy with my defenses. I'm still testing this one out. Just to see how it does. I don't think it's going to do too great. It has gotten some wins. The first one, just because people underestimate how tanky my Rylot is. But we'll have to see when we go into Guild War. I might even take myself out of Fortress after the next Guild War. The second one, the idea is Sage Ball strips immunity. A Tywin stuns the Seaside, but people can just Seaside the second defense. They can Seaside this first one too. So Seaside works for both these defenses, which is not good. Being able to get Seaside is not the best thing in the world. But I don't have Fallen Cecile or T-Cern, so I'm trying to make it work. My Broman is being built. I need to finish building my Broman for Guild Wars. To have a scarier defense. So again, not super proud of my own defense. Really good defense. Just needs to awaken this. Really annoying defense. Needs a stripper. Instead of putting Wanda here, putting someone to strip would be really, really good. This is what I would ideally like to have on my defense. So if this was a Broman, it'd be really good. So having someone to strip so you can get the A-Tywin so they just can't bring immunity and beat you that way. That's literally it. Pretty solid overall. This is a bot account. It's a side account, not a bot account. It's a side account. So I'm not going to go over that one. Let's go over the Stronghold. I just put him here. Anti-SSB, but nothing really else. Maybe hoping that these two are really fast and can take a unit out. But you can just Doris it. Put Doris, put Water Bait, and then put a damage DPS and win the fight. Second team, pretty annoying, but no, like Rowana just kills this team. Rowana just makes this fodder, and then having like something to strip the other stuff. I don't know what a stove purchase error is. I imagine that the stove purchase error, it means just maybe the transaction didn't go through. That could be something that happens. All right, last one, and then we're gonna do tourney stats. Build your Doris. Yes, TLDR for arena offense. If you haven't already built your Doris and you're trying to get better for Guild Wars, just build your Doris. So many defenses just lose to Doris, dude. Like it's kind of sad, but it's true. Doris has become like the queen of consistency because he just eats up so many units. Like this would be a lot scarier in the past because anti-cleave, a unit that can kill another unit, very scary. And then the A-Tywin. Ideally, again, Broman would be nice here. Like a speed Broman. It would do the same thing. I'm still a big fan of A-Tywin though. I'm still trying to incorporate him properly. But could be good. Depending on the situation. No. The thing about Ruel is Ruel can't necessarily tank a Rylot and an Arbiter Vildred. If that Rylot is a high damage Rylot, and the Arbiter Vildred is a procs greater basket, your team is gone with Ruel the Light. And the thing about it is it's too much AoE for you to keep up with. But if it's Doris, Doris sets up increased defense to stop things with the RB. Doris can also give you increased defense. Doris takes a lot less damage than Ruel the Light. Ruel, you'd have to give her Proof of Valor. And that's what people used to do. But guilds have switched from Doris from Ruel to Doris, because Doris just does Ruel's job, but without having to give a proof of valor. So it drops the cost a little bit, and it's better for AoE sustaining against Arbiter Vildred, because Arbiter Vildred does a lot of AoE attack. Yeah, that's the big thing. I mean, yes, Roll Light. I use Roll Light, which is why I haven't necessarily built my Doris, is because I can still use my Roll Light, and she works just as well. Yeah, not everyone has Roll Light either. That's the other big one. The second team, I like this in a way. I still like Falconeer Clear a lot. I like Arbiter Vildred. Arbiter Vildred is just good. This is good against Seaside because he can lock down the Seaside. Could get Rowana, could get Emil Hayes. Emil Hayes just does pretty good against his defense, but it's still pretty good. There's a lot of damage threat in this one. And the Falconeer Clear being like a random threat that you have to bring a water bait for, and you might lose your water bait. So depending how important your water bait is to you, this could take a couple of units. So I kind of like it. Millies. So ideally this would be like a Fallen Cecilia, but I know she doesn't have a Fallen Cecilia. Still pretty good though. A lot of damage threat, and then the Knight. I'm surprised it's in Lilius. And then this one, again, protect the T-Cern comp. It's going to win a lot because you can't reliably kill the T-Cern. It's a lifesteal T-Cern. The more you try to kill them, the more damage you do to the Craw, the more likely you are to lose a unit, and the more likely you are to lose the fight. And then the L Craw plus the T-Cern is a lot of AoE damage. Pretty solid defense. This one, you just get dizzied, honestly. A Dizzy could eat this one apart, like a Dizzy and then a Strip. So again, Broman just being really, really good for that. But still a solid defense. Interesting. Annoying? Yes. But SSB can eat this team alive. Like a good SSB can eat this team alive. The second team can get cleaved, but you don't know how fast Falconeer Clary is. And this team can just get Doris. If they do a Doris and a water bait, this team is dead. Doris plus water bait will kill this team. Because Doris won't get hit by the Falconeer Clary, will eat up the top model Luluka, won't die, Arbiter Vildred won't kill the team, can just heal up and then just kill with your boosters, since this thing is not that high. So again, seeing why Doris is so strong is so good. This team is interesting. I will say that. It looks something that'll be really annoying. Oh, Spectre Tenebria. Yeah, Spectre Tenebria just eats this team alive. I put Spectre Tenebria and I just eat this team alive. Pretty easily. Defense is really hard. Like, I can literally go through every single defense and show you how Doris kills everything and show you how you can just tank it out and win. Which is why top level, like the top 3 guilds don't typically lose defenses. Unless it's a counter Arby that just happens to proc a million times with Basket, or the Charles happens to proc a million times Elris. That will win them fights. So that's how you see it. Myth, oh man, this is such a good bait defense. No one knows... Like, people know Gunther Lilius, but no one knows how fast this Rose actually is. This Lilius will do a lot of damage. This is an extremely good bait defense. People will fall victim to this. Not a fan of Faithless Lidica. If this was a Broman, the defense is considerably better. Robbie's a little bit weird because you can just SSB her. This is just SSB. So, again, first team, really good bait. Second team, I would change out the Faithless Lidica for a Broman. If you don't have a Broman, another Stripper. And then, I don't know about Robbie. Honestly, just a bigger damage stealer would be nicer right here. Broman should be as fast as you can physically make him while still having over 150% effectiveness. Ideally, to really get a ton of wins, you have like a 280 speed Broman on like a... on immunity, on 150 effectiveness plus. The faster the better, and if you can get him on immunity, even better, because then they can't one-shot him with Acid, right? First team, really good bait. This is a really good tower team. This one, I'm not a fan of Faithless Lidica. I do not like Faithless Lidica in defenses. I think it's too easy. Probably one of our better forts. This Dizzy is extremely fast on Lila Violin. So in a way, it can counter things like SSB because it can strip, and then RB can actually land the glancing hit on her and it can win. A little bit RNG based, but that's always okay. It can actually get Champ Seed though. So that's the big problem for this defense. Is Champ Seed can actually kill it. For this one, it's the opposite. SSB can kill this team quite easily. And then again, a lot of Dark. You can out-sustain it. You could even do double Arbiter Vildred. You could do an Arbiter Vildred. Do a cleave. Let Emil Ken kill you and come again with your Arbiter Vildred and finish it off. Or watch a Shuri cleave or Sermi cleave. There's a lot of different ways. This one is another low level account that's chilling in our guild right now. Ooh, it's a Nagi. What's this? What's this defense? This looks like Doris and win. Just literally just put any light bait, and you win against this defense. Uh, it's winning because people underestimated it. This one, oh man, it's a really good bait. It's really good bait. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. In terms of bait, it's good. If you're trying to get the opponent to int into your tower, especially when you're fighting those lower level guilds, people will fight this tower. Look how many defenses he has. Just because we've been fighting like low level guilds recently, everyone's like, oh look, it's a noob tower. And then they get killed. So it's a good bait defense. It's good for early game. Like if you're an early game player. Pretty good. Good anti-SSB. The moment will just heal too much. Same idea. Again, Charles would be really good here. I actually really like this defense thing. This defense is interesting because there's no strip, so you can just have a team with immunity. That with the Dizzy, or just bring a cleave. You can honestly just cleave this one. Granted, this could be a counter Dizzy, so you run the risk of it countering. But besides that, it's like not that bad. Top 100 kills. Bro, it's like, it's really freaking good. Like, the thing about it, it's like when I used to be in a low level guild and I know my gear is a lot better, I would purposely put bad defenses that look bad to get people to attack me. So, for all intents and purposes, bro, this is big brain. Like, for where we are right now, right? Like, probably switch it before next Wednesday. Alpha Dragon. This one, man, I would almost mix these up a little bit. I would almost put his SSB down here. But I get what he's trying to do with this one. He's trying to like strip with Broman, DPS down with Acid, and Emerald Crown. That's what he's trying to do. With this top one, I'm not too sure. I know he really likes his Cecilia. But you could actually you could SSB this ironically, because SSB against SSB. If they put SSB Roana, that SSB Roana is gonna beat this SSB CC Robbie team. So interesting defense. Good bait. Good bait defenses. For sure. Good bait defenses. I would almost switch these up a little bit. I know he has really broken units. I know he has a Tenebria. I know he has all these other units. So I'm wondering if he's putting this one while he thinks of another one. I'm actually gonna have to look at his unit to see, because we probably would want to switch these. But yeah, overall, pretty good. I'm not gonna say I have a good defense. I just want to show you guys what the things are to consider. So if I was just to summarize everything we talked about, right? If I was just to summarize it in 2 points, is don't put too much dark, because Doris OP. So you're just gonna get Doris baited. Try to guard against SSB as much as possible. It's really, really good. If you have T-Surin, RB, FCC, there's no reason they shouldn't be in your deep. Broman, and they're all built. There's no reason you shouldn't have them in their defenses, right? It's just really good at any point in the game. If you have any of these units, it's just really, really good in the game. Bait defenses are good for early. So like it's actually really good. Like imagine if you had a bait defense against a team like this that we just destroyed, a guild, then we're just able to get a lot of free wins and get even more havoc than we normally would be able to, because they're like, oh, I think I can beat this one guy, and then they don't, and then we get free havoc. So that part's nice. Unique comps are really good. So this one I'm actually a really big fan of. Because the thing about it is that people don't necessarily always communicate. And this is just a really, really good bait defense. People are going to lose an int into this defense because they may not know what it does or underestimate it. It's the same idea what the other one works. Just make sure you have something that's like unique. Beta Zlinica also does kind of work in this one, because you can actually strip the immunity and go with the A Tywin. But Robbie takes so long to scale up, which is why I don't think she's the best for this. She takes way too long to scale up. That's the big problem right here. Arby would just be so much better here too. But I like that first one. So yeah, that's the TLDR. I think BBK on counter Dreamblade would be a really good bait defense. If you have that, people are not gonna expect it. If you put that defense and someone goes into it, they're not gonna expect your BBK to be on a Moonlight Dreamblade. Same reason with RB. You never assume RB is on MLDB counter set, and if it is, then you mess up with top model Luluka, and then you lose the fight. And that's how you win fights. Because at the end of the day, every Guild Wars defense is prone to losing. Every Guild Wars defense is gonna be prone to losing. Challenger levels with speed 250 would be more than just enough. Around Challenger, you'll see 250 to 260 is pretty standard in that region. The higher you go up in Challenger, it starts going around 270. And then like at the top level, it's the 280s. Bro, count. Oh my god. Wait, let me show you guys this. To show you guys the disgustingness of counter RB. Did y'all? Alright, so this is what we're going to be going into next. So, did y'all know we had a tournament this last Saturday? And if you did, were you there? It was a lot of fun, right? And I know it lasted very, very long. Someone put together the sheet of all the matches and all the units. And I'm about to go over this because I thought it was really interesting, right? To see what, like, this around, like, high-level challenger players can actually do with the units. Let me find the unit. I know we also have the unit usage. Where did he put the units? Alright, give me 1 second. I can't find where he put the units. Someone else did this work for me. So I really appreciate it. This is what they did. So this is like the actual player stats, which is really cool that they have this. But we did have this tournament, and I want to show you guys because there was a counter RB moment that I was just like, this is nuts. Like, I was like, this team is nuts. Like, counter RB is just disgusting. Let me actually find the part where it happened. It was near the end, too. And I was just like, how is this allowed, dude? This is from the cup. It's in a video. So if you want to do it, feel free. There's a lot of really good fights. And I might make a highlight video of this one in the future. It was around this area. Yeah, it was like after this fight. Let me go a little bit more forward. Was it this one? No, it wasn't against Izanagi. Might have been a little bit after. Oh no, it was before this one. Yes, this one. This fight. I want to watch this fight with y'all. Because y'all will see how busted counter RB is. After this, y'all will all want to build your counter RBs. Oh wait, I didn't have my camera this whole time. Y'all should have told me. Alright. Y'all are going to see this fight with me. And then, y'all are going to be like, counter RB is the future. That's what I thought after I saw this defense. I was like, bruh. After I saw this RB, I was like, bruh. How is this allowed, dude? How is this counter RB allowed, dude? No spoilers. Let me start from here. All right. So game state is weird, right? But it's pretty even, right? It's looking pretty even. But he does have Soulburn on his Spectre T. If he hits T-Surin once, that T-Surin will be dead. Oh yeah, he has to S3. Just watch from here, and y'all are gonna be like, actually, what the heck? So look, Christina, who's also Chica, by the way, is gonna take a big hit right here. So, big hit right here to the T-Surin, and it actually barely almost kills, but not quite. But the Lilias is able to take a turn right here, and she'll be able to finish it off, right? So she was able to finish it off. Kind of a misplay because the Arbiter Builder was about to attack, right? The Arbiter was about to attack and proc the SSB S2. So he didn't have to do that, so that was kind of a misplay. But watch from here on onwards, right? Right now, it still looks like it's in Lunar's favor. You would think that, right? It looks like it's in Lunar's favor. He still has SSB. SSB quite tanky. He does have glancing, which I do not know why Arbiter Builder has glancing on his S3. Still has his crawl. Still has all these units, right? Has a bunch of souls to actually deal with the RB. So you could kill the RB with a soul burn after you kill the rest of the team. And then you'd be able to kill him twice, right? So it goes in, S3s, doesn't quite kill. And the glancing hit really starts doing work right here. Because, dude, it's so... And this is like way later. So that RB got to S3 again because he just cycled through over time. It was just able to cycle through. And we'll see here. Misses on the FCC, so doesn't do enough damage. Also misses on the Arbiter Vildred. Misses again, which is terrible RNG. And because of that, he's not going to be able to kill the Emo Haste. Gets to block down the Emo Haste. So this part was like really, really nice, right? Emo Haste gets the strip. He misses again on the Arbiter Vildred. RB is just surviving this whole time, right? Misses again because, dude, glancing hit's so stupid. And then let's see right here what he decides to do. It's probably just wanna cycle the Dreamblade's stupid, dude. Like Dreamblade is so stupid because he can't kill this Arbiter Vildred because he knows it's on counter. The reason all these units are so low is because it's on counter. It's a super lucky S1 right here, and just kills both of these. Amel Hayes gets to dunk, and it's just tragic, dude. I missed the part where like the Arbiter Vildred was popping off though. Hold up. Man, I'm sad. I skipped the part where the Arbiter Builder pops off with the counter. Because you can't kill him. Tank with the MLDB, you can't kill that. It's so good. It's so annoying. I actually hate Arbiter Builder more than I ever have in my life. Also, has him on Bastion of Perlucia. I think he does his first counter right here. And it's why the Stena was so low to start with. Yep, the S3s, and I think he gets countered right here. Misses, so gives him an counter attack. Look how much damage he's getting to do on them for free. And look how much damage he's done to him. Nothing. Lilius ST, S3, SSB, S2, no damage. Tickling it. Tickling it. It's just... What the frick, dude? It's so good. Why does RB get to have all these builds, dude? Why does RB get to have all these builds? But y'all got to saw counter RB stupid. It's too good. It's too good. I think he tries to S3 it here, maybe? Oh no, he goes to that Mohaze. Yeah, this is the part we already saw. And then right here, we get to see the counter RB pop off again against the cleave. So watch this. How is this fair, bro? How is this fair, right? So this is the team, right? It's going to be a cleave team against a tankier team, right? And watch what happens. That Arbiter Vildred will not go down. That Arbiter Vildred will not die to this full combo. And it will actually just win the game for him. So he bans a Sid, full tank team, right? So Adamant Auras, okay, whatever. But we have Watcher Shuri, we have Challenger Dami, and we have Top Model Luluka. Right? This guy first picked, right? First picked RB. Was like, boom, I know you're playing Cleave, let me just first pick RB. Nah, dude. Not Tank RB. Tank RB doesn't care about Singelica or Emo Haste. He never dies. Gets the turn 1 with Oxlots. And he's gonna S2 the Challenger Dami right here. And poke down this this barrier. Oh, this has to go for this and try to go for an S2 to strip the barriers. Right? So it doesn't strip the barrier. Gets counterattacked instead. Gets the Xenon push back. Almost losing him to the Lilius. And all his units are almost like dead now. Just from one counterattack. Right? Didn't get to strip the barrier. So that was rough for him. Xenon S1s. Misses. Because Moonlight Dreamblade. Right? Top Model Luluka. Comes in. Dignazorb. Getting ready to clap. We saw the first miss. Goes in. And MLDB. Twice. And the sad thing is I'm pretty sure even if it had hit, it may not have killed. If he had an Aureus, right? If this was an Aureus Craw or an Aureus Lilius, it would not have killed. It's not an Aureus Lilius, so there wasn't any damage mitigation. And he doesn't have Adamant Shield. But that was without Adamant Shield, that was without Aureus. Imagine if you add Adamant Shield Aureus. And then you just win the... Like, you can't kill. You can't actually... Bro, RB... Like, I just can't... It just shocks me that, like, there are so many counters to Arbiter Vildred, and he still continues to be one of the best units in the game. It's crazy. It's honestly impressive, in a way. I honestly think it's just straight up just impressive. But okay, let's look over the tournament stats so y'all can see... What was OP? What was not OP? What was like? What was used? So very nice looking Excel sheet. I really do appreciate that. So shout out to TC. If you see him in the Discord, say thank you. So out of the tournament, this is what we saw. with the win percentages. Let me see if I can try to zoom in so y'all can see some spicier stats up close. All right. So F. Clury was probably picked the most. So there was a total of 16 times 3. There was a total of 42 matches in this tournament. So let me type that so you guys know. Like maximum was 42 matches. So 42 matches. Flurry 50%. It was picked 20 times and had a 50% win rate. Pretty interesting how it just happened to be balanced. By the way, most of these players are... Yeah, but like I was taking off because we had a lot of 2-0s. We had a lot of 2-0s. Also, I'm really tired, so my math is trash right now. So there was a maximum possible of 48, but I think it ended up being more like 38 matches. So pretty high pick rate for F. Clury. Again, F. Clury just being really, really versatile. This doesn't include how many times it was banned either. And she was banned a lot, like pre-ban. But 50% win rate, I mean, it's expected if I can hear Clury. Lilia surprisingly lost a lot in this tournament, which I thought was really interesting. It might be because people knew each other playstyles. And most of the time, those losses were probably against Vacuum Clury. So it was pretty interesting. SSB lost a lot. People really, really know how to beat SSB at this point. Top model Luluka has made things a lot easier. Ruana has made a lot of things easier. Emil Kral. So at this level, like high challenger to champion. This is all high challenger to champion. So all of these are pretty good players. And we're seeing this low win rate. And it kind of matches what we saw in Shogun's tournament, where SSB is not doing that great, right? She's not really doing what SSB used to do. That was just an auto win free button, right? So seeing a lot of losses. Kra, oh my goodness. Kra is still good. Even with the frenzy changes, Kra is just good because it's just a 1-for-1. It's like, oh yeah, you're winning, but now you're not. Psych. Like, and some of the losses to this Kra, oh man, there were some really good moments. I really didn't need to make a highlights moment. Cerise got picked a lot. Surprisingly had a low win rate. I was shocked about this one. I don't know if it was just because people didn't have the right teams for her, or because they were expecting it and then they knew how to deal with it easier since they were expecting it. RB had a terrible win rate because most of the RBs were in Cleave teams, and Cleave didn't do as hot this time. We had a lot of Cleaves actually lose, especially the Arbiter Builder Cleaves. There was a lot of RB Cleaves that actually lost. Ammo Kra, amazing win rate. Y'all, I still don't know how people can say this unit is bad. And I think it's common, like most people will agree that Ammo Kra is really strong. People still say that he's falling off. I disagree, dude. I disagree so hard. Ammo Kra is still absolutely broken. He just does so much. He has lost his late game presence, but his early game presence is very, very powerful. Fallen Cecilia, 50% win rate. Fallen Cecilia is only as good as your draft. So if you don't draft too well, or if they meet it with a Bazaar and they know how to counter it properly, then you're going to lose, right? If people match FCC with a Bazaar and an Atai win, it gets a lot harder for Fallen Cecilia. Specty, a lot of the times, it was just Arbiter Vildred's, ML Kraus. People know how to deal with Specty at this level, and not a lot of people were pairing her with Ross. We see not a lot of Ross, right? So that's one thing that I think it's more of a top level thing, where you see a lot more Ross paired with Specty. We're not seeing that in this high challenger tourney. Top model Luluka, 50% is basically, did she outspeed? She most likely won. Or as we saw, Arbiter Vildred just destroyed. Oxlot, again, we mentioned Cleave did terrible. Ravi, people were picking her very early, which made it so it's easy to counter Ravi. A lot of people don't know how to draft Ravi properly. They will pick her way too early in draft and try to force her in situations she's not supposed to be picked, which is why we see that lower win rate. But it should honestly be a little bit higher. Dissy, for some reason, did really good this tournament, even though Emil Kra clearly was also doing a lot of work. So I was personally shocked by how well Dizzy did, because at this point it's like everyone kind of has a Dizzy counter. But again, at the end of the draft, if you don't have Emil Kra or Emil Kra's banned, or if you picked Emil Kra and they didn't put anything to counter the Dizzy and you managed to get that last pick, Dizzy's just gonna win the game for you. So I thought that was really cool. Deanne, 50-50. Again, I think most of the teams that actually won were the ones that had Landy. Royal Light, surprisingly good. I think Royal players, when Royal usually is drafted, people are drafting her in, like, a lot better now. Like before, Royal used to be slapped onto any team, which is why she had a lower win rate. But now people are putting Royal on teams that actually make sense. And because she's more of a last pick rather than an early pick, she's doing a lot better. which is nice. Alencia, I am shocked at how low their win rate was. I expected it to be higher. Here's a Ross. Not as much high usage. Still did okay. Sedum, again, Cleve did terrible. A Tywin, another one of those units that not a lot of people have. But it's a broken unit. A Tywin is probably one of the best units right now for RTA. I'm a big A Tywin abuser. I can tell you that A Tywin is absolutely broken and should not be able to do what he does. I really do think he would low-key need a nerf. Ray, this was mainly just like a couple of people that were using Ray, mostly Small Cabbage. But A Tywin's big broken. But yeah, Small Cabbage was using a lot of Ray. He did give it a loss as well though, to the Holiday Yuffie. General Purgus, people were trying to force it in teams that it didn't make sense. Charles was used by the weaker players a lot more, just because they had him already built and because he's cool. Athletica, against we did terrible. Landy, not a lot of Guiding Light Landy. I think that actually hurts it a lot. It really shows that without Guiding Light, Landy's not as strong. And I do have to say that as well. Charon, surprisingly well, but it's because, like, Charon, if you pick it in the right scenario, is good. Emil Haste, 100% win rate. Emil Haste still the best RB counter. If Emil Haste is there, you're most likely winning against the Arbiter Village. If you don't ban the Emil Haste, you're most likely losing. Rylet did surprisingly well, but not a highest pick rate. This might have just been like the level of the brackets that we were seeing. Basar, terrible win rate for some odd reason. I think it was because someone was cleaving with it and it wasn't working out. Watch Ashuri, good for speed contesting. So the few times that we did see the Watch Ashuri, it was a good speed contest. Sage Ball, we only saw four times. Disappointed with the win rate, but again, it's a control unit. It's gonna miss in cases where it matters. Doris, it was one player in particular using Doris, and it just happened that he lost most of the fights that he did. Emoken, it was just like a side pick. This was basically one player. Holiday Yuffie got a very good win. Destina did terrible. She just got destroyed throughout the whole tournament. Just other units were better. Purgus was a certain unit, and like the rest are just like player specific picks. Right, so like these don't really mean as much because there's not enough information. The only ones that we can actually like really take a good look at are these. But yeah, very diverse pool. We saw a really wide variety of units actually used. What, 72 different units? 70 different units were used in the tournament, which I think is really good, right? That's a lot of diversity. For only having 48 matches max, that's a lot of diversity for this tournament. So it was really good. I'm happy with it. Is this a good indicator for high level? No. If I had to tell you, I would expect units in a high level tournament to do way better than what we saw here. I would expect Spectres and Ebria to have a way higher win rate. I would actually expect Emil Crow to have a lower win rate. People higher up actually know how to deal with Emil Crow a lot better. Crow, I actually do expect this win rate. Crow is pretty nuts right now. A Tywin, I expect to have a higher win rate, although people are all learning how to counter. Robbie, I expect a higher win rate. Dizzy, I expect a much lower win rate. Usually, people do still struggle with Dizzy, especially like when you're still building a lot of units. But once you get into like high champion and everyone has Emil Crow, has a Tywin, there's a lot of different ways that you can actually deal with Dizzy. So not having Emil Crow is a big one, right? So that's a big one. So those two are like the main topics I wanted to cover. Do you have any questions or anything that like y'all saw that were like look cool? Any questions about the tournament? I do want to make a. Let me show y'all a sneak peek. This is probably one of the biggest highlights of this tournament. I think this is my favorite part of the tournament, and the fact that this happened, I thought was amazing. That this match. Yes, it was this match. This match was hype. There were some mistakes on both sides, but the win on this was just so great. This was probably the best fight. Y'all, trust me. If you want to see Holiday Yuffie pop off, this is what you want to see. There was a lot of misplays on the draft side because Millie banned the Ray over the Emil Crow, and that's why the Basar barely lived. And Basar will get to strip all of this stuff because she already did the Yuffie in S3. So it put her in a really bad position, right? But we got to see why Crow is pretty good. So let me skip forward to a little bit. Oh, spoilers. Man, I hate how this is so long. So right here, looking really bad for Millie, right? Cabbage still has 2 units. Millie luck sacks the hit onto the Rylet, and that's just basically GG for this Rylet. Hits it twice. But it's still not looking great, right? It's about to get S3'd by Emoken. Soulburn. It's not looking great, right? Holiday You Fiend, everyone's low health. It's looking like, you know, it's the end of the line for Millie and the end of the line for this team. Crow barely survives. Comes in with the Crow. She goes for the S3 here. If she crits on the Emoken, she loses. Dodges the crit. So that's good. And is able to horse the Emoken right here. And you would think, okay, this Emocraw is getting horse every time this Holiday Youfiend takes turn 1. Right? How do you see Millie winning this one? The Craw only has like, what, 2 turns left? Before this Emocraw is able to S3 again. It's like legit 2 turns. Right? Yeah, see right there, 2 turns. So there's 1 more turn, and the Holiday Youfiend is about to AoE. So now Emocraw has his horse up. And we're gonna start seeing burns are actually so good in RTA. With the new RTA changes, the fact that Frenzy gives attack now has made Holiday Youfiend so much better. So it gets the first horse. Not looking great. Right, does the S2 with Ross. Starting to do damage. It is going to be a lifesteal Holiday Youfiend, and this is actually what's gonna save it. So right here is looking so bad. I'm like, you literally just crit this Holiday Youfiend once and she's dead. But Ross tanking the Aureus and him Cabbage not being able to clear. Doesn't get the speed reduction, but gets the immunity off. Right? So there's a chance for more burns to do. She goes for the S3 right here. And after this S3, we get to see that we're a Frenzy 3. So there's a 30% attack increase. The Holiday Youfiend literally survives by the skin of her teeth. Right? So it's literally like she's about to die. I think there's no way to win this. Ross S2 comes in. Attack. Decrease defense. So she heals just enough to survive another turn. So perfect time for Ross to pull through. Does Holiday S1. At this point, Emocraw is basically right there. I'm like, okay, this Emocraw has 1 turn before he's able to S3 again. Right? It's basically over. It's essentially almost over. Comes in with the Ross. Does the S2 again. Resisted. Double burn. Burn gets the kill. Bro, this was hype. Look at me. Look at me in the little corner. I stood up. This moment was probably one of the hypest moments in the whole tournament. The L-Craw S3 was up at this point. He had his S3 right here. Like, the chat was actually hype. Actually, like, about to die. Like literally, like, he had 1 turn cooldown. Right here, S1 has S3. Has S3 available. Oh, that was after this one. This one he gets the heal. Has S3. The lapse because Emocraw with speed buff actually hurt him there because the Holiday Youfiend didn't take a turn. Has S3, so it's literally like if he survives 1 more turn, it's over. Has MO3, has S3. Comes in with the Ross. S2, no souls, no nothing. Just a prayer and a dream. And a double burn. Yes, I think SBA is pretty good with the changes. The thing about it is A-Town is nuts. I still think it's insane that burn actually got the kill. It's so good. Burns do a lot more damage now. Because it's based off of attack, and if you have Frenzy, you're getting straight attack. Same reason why SSB scales harder, so I actually was surprised SSB's not doing better. But yeah. Hypest time. I highly recommend you watch the actual clip with sound. It was great. It was a great moment. Best moment of the tournament. But yeah, that's the stats. Mythcrafter, yes, I already went over all of them. Your first defense is really good bait defense. I don't like your Athletica on the second one, but I get why you put it in there. Because she can actually strip a buff, so it kind of works. But yeah, pretty spicy stuff. And I'm excited. I'm excited for new season. It was exciting. Like the fights weren't boring. Even when we saw tank teams, it didn't get past Frenzy 3 because tank teams are so much weaker. And it has allowed me to actually do really, really good in RTA. I'm doing really good in RTA right now. I'm actually really happy with how far I've gone in RTA. Yeah, I kind of want to do my daily fight. Let me do my daily fight. See if I lose. But it's nice. It's fun. It's a good time. But yeah, I think SBA is really, really good. The only problem with SBA right now is a Tywin is really strong, and Emil Haste is really strong, and Cleave teams are really strong. So it's not as easy to do a lot of the crazy stuff that you used to be able to do, right? Like it's not, you can't control as easy with how many speed threads there are. Holiday Euphine, I actually really want to build a Holiday Euphine. I have one, and I think she's absolutely bonkers. I have a feeling he's gonna pick El Craw. So I'm just gonna go. I am playing really bad right now because I'm really tired, and the more tired I am, the worse. The worse I play. If I'm really tired, I play like doo doo. You need about like at least 8 heroes for RTA. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to pick my A Tywin. I had a feeling he was gonna do double Crow, and I don't have ML Craw. If I had ML Craw, I would first pick him every time with A Tywin. Ooh, Landy. This is probably a guiding light Landy. I don't want to pick Robbie because it's too early in the game. I really do want to ban the ML Craw. Let me go a little bit more control because I think my last unit is gonna be. Dang, I can't think straight right now. My last pick most likely will be Robbie, depending what he picks here. He could go Deanny right here, and it would absolutely destroy me. And I would not have a fun time if he actually picks Deanny right here. It just makes the game a lot harder for me. If he picks Deanny and like another big damage threat with that, like SSB Deanny just kills me here. That would actually just kill me right there. SSB Deanny just kills me. I just lose. So if he has that, I just straight up lose. I don't have nothing to ban. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of units I want to build too. Like, I'm still waiting to finish my Cerise. I'm still waiting to finish my my Bazaar, my Holiday Euphine. The more flexible your draft, the better. Because if you only have one playstyle, it's that you can't adapt to a lot of situations. Like, I have one core draft. He really wants me to pick Robbie against him. There's the SSB. I might actually pick top model Luluka. I'm gonna pick top model Luluka and ban the Ray. Actually, low key. Dude, screw Ray. Ray's too annoying. Yeah, ban's a top model. It's still winnable. It depends how good my Sage Ball is to this. If my Sage Ball hits the nuts, I win. If my Sage Ball just hits the nuts, bro. Like if it just hits everyone, I win. So I'm actually gonna give him the effectiveness imprint. Because it's literally just comes down. If my Sage Ball strips everyone, sleeps the Emil Craw, sleeps the Craw, sleeps the Landy, and if he sleeps everyone and I come in with the Tywin S3, then it's GG. No re. Right? But we weren't able to switch her in time. So RNG is RNG. So let's see it. We actually took turn 1, which I'm surprised about. I don't want to soul burn because I want my Stannet to get 2 turns. Alright. Alright, if we get the nuts, we just win here. So Sage Ball, can you get me the nuts? Sage Ball! You got me okay nuts, but not the nuts. I needed the nuts. That wasn't the nuts, bro. That was like kind of sus, actually. Yeah, that's not good. That's actually really bad. I'm gonna let the. I'm actually gonna go for the Landy because I think my Stannic can actually kill the Landy, but can't kill the SSB. Oh man, we didn't even break the barrier, dude. Oh wait, she's stunned, so I can actually start going on SSB. Dang, dude. Dang. We missed the Emerald Crawl, which makes me really sad, actually. Sage Ball can actually kill the SSB. I really want to S3 here just so that SSB doesn't do as much damage. Even though the Landy might get the stacks, it's actually better for later on. I think we still lose though, pretty sure. We pretty much lose here. I'm pretty sure. Just because Landy is gonna do too much damage. This should kill. Even through the barrier and even through everything else. Damn, it didn't kill, but A-Talon should be able to finish it off. Hopefully. If not, Sten, it can finish it off. This is a really, really beefy Landy. She's gonna get the full penetration S3. He might actually just horse me right here. Just do it. Just horse me, bro. Oh, he just decided to S2. Yeah, that's a beefy Landy. That's probably counter Landy. Since she hasn't attacked, we might get to keep Stena here. If Stena survives, we're in good shape. We're in pretty good shape, actually. Because I think he's gonna horse my A Tywin actually. This next coming turn. I think he horses A Tywin. Alright. It's gonna come down to just a couple of stuns. He definitely horses the A Tywin or the Sage Ball. I would actually horse the Sage Ball. We didn't hit the Landy, which kind of sucks. Sage Ball you might not kill though, which would put me in a really good S3 range. Why's my music so low? Oh, this one has copyright issues. That's why. Went for Sage Ball, and it might actually work out for him. Dang, we didn't get the decreased defense. Alright, we need the A-Tywin to provoke down the Emerald Croc, because I think he already has... Yeah, he already has Horse. Nice. And we win. GG. We actually win. What the heck? How do we win this, dude? I don't deserve this win. I actually don't deserve this win. How do we win this? What? And see, this is another legend level player. How do we win that? How do we win that? How did we win that? What? Wait, how did we win that, dude? This is just Stena being OP? That's what it felt like. That was too close. I think it is just Spectana, dude. I think it's just Spectana. Spectana is just broken. Also, Sage Ball did really good at the beginning. Stana plus Sage Ball S2 opening was really strong. It was really nice. Even though we didn't hit the El Craw, it was still really good. So, nice. Stealth Landy is the only way to build Landy. But he did have it. It just didn't proc for him. He had it because it was stealthed at the beginning. But 190 only. It's not that fast. It's actually a really slow Stena. Not gonna lie, it's actually on the slower side. It's not a good Stena. It's actually not that great of a Stena. It just looks like she's really good because Ross is carrying her. Like, Ross is actually carrying the Stena. It's not a terrible Stena, but it has more effectiveness than it should. If the effectiveness had gone to other stats, it would have been really good. It would have been one of the better Stenas. Right now, it's just a solid glass cannon one. And yes, I built mine super glass cannon just because Ross and A Tywin usually protect her pretty well, so I usually don't worry too much. Oh man, we're gonna lose so many points if we lose here. That stinks. Still ban FCC. Still one of the best bans for me. It just does too much. Because FCC ban just like kills certain team composition. I started picking Rostan a lot more recently though. Let's see what he decides to pick. But yeah, it's oh, he took my Ross. I'm gonna take the Stene. I don't want him to have Stene. I can't let you have Stene with Ross. That's too good. Like Stene plus Ross is too good. You don't want to let that happen if you can avoid it, because it's like, why Soulburn Spectre Tenebria when you can Soulburn Ross for less souls and get the same effect as Soulburn Spectre Tenebria. Ross Soulburn is disgusting. Same with a Tywin. These two units should not have the Soulburns that they do. It's just so strong. Like, spamming dual attacks is nuts, and then having a one-turn cooldown on an AoE stun and slow is kind of broken too. Oh man. I hate T-Certain too. I don't know if it's a speed one though. That's the thing. There's the Elcraw. I'm actually tempted to do the Annie Landy, but not the Annie. I'm just gonna do Craw actually. Craw's really good in this scenario. Craw is really good against Emerald Craw, and he's pretty good against Ross. I'm tempted to take Sage Ball. I love Sage Ball too much, dude. I rely too much on Sage Ball. I get sad every time Sage Ball fails me too. It's just like so polarizing. Yeah, not everyone has Tene. I do understand that, but it's just so good. If you can take the Ross, Ross is so versatile. If a lot of people will actually first pick Tene, and then if they do that, pick the Ross away or the F Clary. But no way that this guy just goes another tank unit, right? He has to go a little bit of damage, like a Seaside, right? Has to. Has to. No way he just doesn't take any other damage either. Yeah, that's the Seaside. Why do I know they're taking Seaside every time, dude? It's just like I know they're gonna bring Seaside against me. I'm actually tempted to ban the Ross because I know he'll have an Aureus, and I know or Adamant Shield. I know she won't have one. The only risk I'm running is that this T-Cern is faster than my top model Luluka. That's the only risk. So I'm just gonna take it, ban the Ross. If I ban the Ross and he bans the top model Luluka, then I lose. So I probably should actually ban just the T-Cern. I lose regardless. So if he bans top model, I lose regardless of what I do. So I'm just gonna take away some of the damage mitigation. Bans the Craw. So now we can actually kill with top model. Yeah, in Legend, I don't have everything. Dude, I wish I had an FCC or an Emerald Crow. Please. Please, Smauggy. Please give me an Emerald Crow. Please. If I got an Emerald Crow, dude, holy. You can't stop me. I'm not in Real Legend yet, you're right. I mean, real Legend is like last week of RTA. That's the real Legend. That's like OP Legend. Alright, there we go. Can we one tap this Can we one tap this? No damage mitigation besides the Aureus. We didn't kill, which means he's just gonna bring it back. I'm almost tempted to save the S2, but I have to use it now. I am shocked that we landed it on the units that we did and not the other units. I wonder who he'll bring back. Probably the SSB. I mean, yeah, I wish I had both. Oh, what the hell? Wait, what? Wait. I'm impressed, actually. I'm really impressed. Wait, what? He killed my standard with the El Craw. That's a lot of damage. This sucks. This actually sucks that he has this debuff. But I kind of have to kill SSB here. I can't heal it off. My Sage Ball would be able to go back to full health and we would be a lot closer in the game. And because the El Craw is just the immunity's too much. He probably brings back T-Surin. If he's smart, he'll bring back T-Surin. If he's smart, he brings back T-Surin, right? Is he smart though? Is he smart though? If he's smart, he brings back T-Surin and wins. And we lose because Sage Ball let us down. Like usual. Okay, he's smart. He's not a bad player. Okay. Yeah, Sage Ball let us down. Feels bad. All that Sage Ball had to do was hit this last Rider Crawl. I'm sad. I'm big sad. Alright, we won one, lost one. We'll stop there for today. In terms of RTA. Dude, Sage Ball is honestly, there's just times where I'm like, dude, this unit is broken, and then there's times where it doesn't work, and it's just like, why is this unit trash? So this is my Sage Ball. Abyssal Crown, I really want to limit break it. I might honestly just do this. I feel terrible doing it, but like having better chances with Abyssal Crown would make me a lot happier. The S2 should have an 85% chance to sleep. So the fact that we missed both SSB and Emil Craw means that it didn't do its job, essentially. This S2 did not do its job. And I know it wasn't an effectiveness thing, because there's no way that Emil Craw had over 100 FRS. It was on immunity. And it was pretty tanky too. It did a lot of damage. But yeah, this is my Sage Ball. I am going to release a mini guide on him because people don't actually know how he functions. And it's really saddening because he's actually one of the better units in this game. Like right now. Especially, the only thing is you have to avoid a Tywin, so it's kind of hard to do if you don't have one. I also need to upgrade my Tywin. But yeah, Sage Ball, it's like one of the reasons I've been able to climb so far has actually been Sage Ball. Because getting a full team stun / sleep is just absolutely ridiculous. Like when you get a full team stun sleep with Sage Ball, it is one of the most satisfying things in this game. And it happens more often than you would think. Which is why I don't think Last Rider Crawl is actually a counter to Sage Ball. Because of that reason. But besides that, besides like the S2 sometimes letting me down, it's just he does more good than he does bad. And then the S3 is just really, really nice as an execution. Whether it's just to kill off a unit or it's to silence too. I use it to silence sometimes too. So definitely going to be dropping a guide on him soon. Because people don't know. But I know this was a really, really short stream. I started the stream way too late. I should have started way earlier. But I was busy doing something else. And I was like, man, I wanted to stream today. Tomorrow, we will be doing a lot more RTA. And maybe we'll drop out a legend. There's a good chance we will. But at least we'll have fun. So make sure to tune in tomorrow for Legend RTA. We will do some RTA there. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I don't think there was anything else. Thank you all for joining. I know it was a short stream. Hopefully, it was still entertaining enough. And I didn't waste y'all's time. If you liked it, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ravi is still around. Let me show you one last flex. This will be a video because I want to talk about it. But Banshee 13 is really nice with this team if you have these units and you're struggling with Banshee 13 and want a one-shot unit. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Make sure to tune in to tomorrow's stream for some RTA action, some fun times, and hopefully I'll be a lot less tired. Something's odd. Oh, wait, we didn't do Banshee 13. Wait. My Vivian should have killed. What happened? That's odd. I've never seen that happen. Did I change the imprint on her? No. Wait, what? Did I take off a boot or something? But yeah. Yeah, she missed crit, but she has 100% crit. Or should have 100% crit. That's odd. Wait. Now I'm sus. Oh, it's 99.7%. I forgot. Because of the stupid way that imprints work. It's a 99.7% crit Vivian. There we go. That's what I'm used to. 80% consistent, but it runs so fast, dude. Like this actually runs like dummy fast. Like, and it's so like it legit is only the 80% of like, did I miss this debuff? No, I most likely win right here, right? It's set up perfectly. If I dual attack, I also lose, which kind of sucks. So right here, she's also on the bleed artifact, the Karen. So even if we needed that one bleed, we didn't even need the bleed, see? So, pretty nice, pretty fast. It's fast. It's fast. It's fast. It does the job like stupid fast. Um, but yeah, that's my Banshee one shot. I actually really like that Banshee one shot. I can show the stats. Man, I was supposed to have left 30 minutes ago, but I just like talking to y'all too much. That's why I love streaming. I was supposed to do a PvE talk today too, like with my raid teams. So this was actually one of the things I was gonna show y'all. So I'll show it after this run. But it's an 80% consistent run. It's perfectly set up between the Vivian and the Karen. The reason why it's 80% is because of the dual attack. If Vivian dual attacks, or if Karen misses the decreased defense. So there's an 80% chance that it loses, right? So we do that. We come in. We hit. Okay, we won. I already know like this is gonna be consistent. It will always do just enough damage to not put her in the other state, and it will always do just enough damage with or without the bleeds to kill. Like this is overkill. I could honestly drop the stats on my bike in. Leo can probably replace Karen, but then you'll need a better bike in. We didn't even need the bleeds there. Karen just makes it a lot nicer, right? And I also use that same Karen for Wyvern. This one I remember was kind of trash. But this is the stats on the Banshee one shot team, and then I'll close stream and do the final, real final. All right. So this is the Vivian. It just does barely enough damage, dude. It barely does enough damage, and it's barely fast enough that it doesn't double lap. If I make my Vivian any faster, she will double lap my Karen and my BBK. If I make her any slower, the Karen will outspeed her. It took me a really long time to actually like set this up the way I needed to. The percent crit rate should be 100%. Yo, how did we miss the crit? Oh, it's not. 15%. Oh, so it's up. We have a 0.6% chance to miss a crit, which is more than I would like it to be. But ideally, this is 85%, 300 crit damage, 3,600. It's perfect stats to clear the first wave and to not do too much damage. The Karen is there for setup. Perfect speed, so she's just fast that she doesn't get double lapped by the Vivian, but just slow enough that Vivian can lap her on the first wave. And essentially 100% crit. Again, it could mess up, right? She's at her own imprint. I also use her for Wyvern, which is why she has a little bit better offensive stats. Also, one of the reasons I didn't upgrade this is because if this goes into speed, it throws everything off. So I can't actually upgrade this ever, which is really sad to think about. And then of course the Baiken, which is overstated for because I have Torn Sleeve on the Karen. So Karen should be able to apply the bleeds. This is the Baiken, not even 5-star Awaken. I could awaken her, drop the gear requirements. I use this exact same set on the Sigrid. Again, the reason I did not upgrade this is because if it goes into speed, she's too fast and will outspeed the Karen. But any less, and she will any less, Vivian double laps her. Any more, she outspeeds Karen. So I can't upgrade this anymore, even though I really, really want to. Has over effectiveness. Attack is nice. This is nice. This actually like is way too good for what I use it for. Um, Same with this one. So effectiveness is nice. Furious would work, but the reason I couldn't use Furious, so Furious would actually be better, right, than Karen, and would it probably be more consistent because you don't care as much about the dual attacking. The only problem with Furious that I ran into was if you're using your Furious for the Banshee, you can't use your Furious for Wyvern because then you'll have a slow Furious. Unless you run a slow Furious, then yeah, by all means, you could easily use Furious instead of Karen, and it's more consistent because it doesn't matter if you dual attack because he doesn't do as much damage as Karen does. So even if you dual attack, you're not gonna push the Banshee low enough, and you get the target debuff, which is gonna let you do more damage with Baiken. Um, so yeah, Baiken kind of needs the Mola unless you have a really pog Baiken. If you're trying to save on Mola and want to do Banshee one shot, I would use I would actually use this guy. No, not pranking y'all. This is actually like a really like an actual thing people do. The people that don't have Baiken but want to do Banshee one shot, and people underrate this, and people don't do it even though it's like, yo, it's kind of lit. Where's the monster artifact? Oh, here it is, monster journal. Where's the rat? It's a beast, I'm pretty sure. This guy. Where is he? Where's the little mouse guy? He's not here. Is he here and I'm just blind? I don't think it's here and I'm just blind. It's not a spirit. Not a demon. I know that too. It's not machinery. No way this guy's an insect. Yo, where's the mouse? Is he a human? No way. Are you actually a human? The goblins are human. Are in the human section. Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. This guy, Mighty Scout. If you want to save on Mola and you don't have a bike in, just build this guy. Why? Look how much damage. Look at this. This with decreased defense, you're essentially 100% defense spend on a boss that takes extra damage from Earth heroes. This is the way that you actually do Banshee one shot without biking, which I think is amazing. But if you don't have a bike in, build your Mighty Scout one shot. It actually works. You will need Leo and you will need target debuff to make it work properly, but it's actually kind of amazing. Like, it's actually pretty amazing what it can actually do. So low Mola investment, low gear requirements, and not a lot you need to invest in it. So Viking overall does more damage than Ervalin. Just because Viking can do 2 hits and the poisons also help. So it lowers the gear requirements. Because Ervalin has to do the damage raw on 1 skill versus Viking has the option of doing the damage on 2 skills. And that way you can do Daydream Joker. But yeah. But alright. We really do need to have a PvE day. I might have a PvE stream one of these days where I legit just talk about PvE stuff. Like Raid and Banshee and Wyvern and show y'all different teams that y'all can use. Especially Wyvern because I know people still struggle with that. So there's definitely one day that we can do that. I do think that Viking is just the most consistent at Banshee one shot, but it's also one of the higher investment ones. Yeah, I can show my necklace before I close the stream. Let me finish opening these presents because I'm gonna forget to do my dailies. All right, this is the ring and neck. Yeah, Biken's it's just better than Urbalin. Urbalin is just like if you don't have Biken or if you already haven't built for Cleave. So this is the neck. People always wonder. So the reason I sigh is because it's like people always wonder, do you really want that much attack on your Sage Bomb? And I personally like it because his S3 does have attack scaling, and it makes it so I can S3 earlier rather than later. Because yes, the scaling off of the health is better, but if they're not hitting your Sage Ball as often and you need to execute something, or if you know he's going to get one shot the next turn if you don't S3, the attack is really nice. And of course, speed, defense, effectiveness, all those are really good. And then on the other hand, the ring, I kind of wanted it to go more into speed, and I ideally wanted to have more effectiveness, but it was just so much freaking defense, and it just made him so much tankier. From this ring, that's where the defense is coming from. 121 is a lot, and then 30% is a lot. It's legit all defense. This alone is probably giving him like, what, 40%? Or not 40%, like 400? Probably? Not 400, maybe more like 30 to 40. This alone is giving it. Oh, wait. Let me put my flex Sage. I regret so much feeding my ball into Sans. This is one of the reasons why I made that video. I'm missing 13% effectiveness. I could have a 120 effectiveness. The ER is coming from here. So this one turned out pretty good. I could probably make this one better. I could definitely improve the boots, right? So there's room for improvement on the boots. There's room for improvement on the chest. And this is probably the place where I can improve the most, but I just really like the speed. Like right here is probably the place for most improvement. You don't need the effector assistance on Sage Ball. You don't need the FRS. And effectiveness, you don't need it as much. I really should improve it because I use them so much. I really should improve it. I really should improve this. I really should improve this. But like my theory with unit building is like, why fix something if it ain't broke? Like he does his job. I have never felt like, man, if I was just 3 speed faster, or if I was like, man, if I just had 5 more effectiveness. I have never felt that way. Or if I was like, man, if I just had 100 more health. And since that scenario has never come up, I don't feel the need to change it. That's the same thing with the Ravi. But with Ravi, I'm actually starting to. Oh yeah, you can actually go the no FRS build. Some people actually go the no effectiveness build. If you go no effectiveness build, you can actually make him like a stupid strong. Like in terms of damage, but then your S2 is kind of useless against certain teams. But this does okay. I still like this imprint more. And I've been tempted so many times to feed this guy to him, just to make my Sage Ball better. I've been tempted so many times to feed my ball over to him. But yeah, also I am building one PvE unit, and in case y'all were wondering for some spicy stuff that's just around the corner, I am building a Bloodblade Karen on counter set. I need to find a better helmet, but everything else is looking pretty nice, right? I have to finish rolling this. If I can get the crit hit damage a little bit higher, and once I finish reforging stuff, and maybe like improve some of the stuff here, I'm gonna play around with the fun PvK build. So, but yeah, you want him to be fast. You want Sage Ball to be 220 plus. Why, you may ask? Sage Ball destroys cleave teams. Hey, it happens, bro. Thanks for jumping by, though. But you want Sage Ball to have some speed because this skill 2 lets him cut into cleave teams pretty easily too. And I win way more fights than I should because of this skill. Like this skill is just not okay. It's actually just like, oh, you're trying to cleave me? Okay, cool. Let me just cut in and just beat your team. Let me also finish Mologoring the S1 before I forget. Sedum should be a 6-star because Sedum is one of the ways that you're doing that poke damage onto the enemy. And the other thing with Sedum is that you also want her to one-shot. That's the big one. If she can't one-shot Soulburn, it's not that good. You want to 6-star your Sedum. For sure. That's like no debate almost. It's that good. You will not regret it. Sedum can one-shot almost any unit in this game. I was gonna go to the Catalyst. Dude, is it just me, or am I the only one that actually just really struggles with Catalyst? Like, I just really struggle with Catalyst. Like, I'm poor on Catalyst all the time. I'm always like, spare some Catalyst, please. Who needed this? I feel like someone needed this. Was it? Is it Cerise that needed this? And this is for 10A, and I am building 10A. But Sage Ball is more important. Same, dude. Same, dude. Guild signups are pretty much closed at this point. We're pretty much full. I think there's like one slot maybe, but it hasn't opened up. There's something that will just be over time. I do that too, but like it just takes so long to fodder farm, dude. But yeah, we're pretty much, we basically have one more slot because I think one of these it's a bot account that I can just kick out. But besides that, it's already like basically full, right? Everyone else that comes in, it's like there's literally one slot, and that's even just like a maybe slot. I could push it to 2 slots. But so like it just started the season, so probably for some time I'm not gonna need anyone new. But thank you for wanting to join. It makes me feel happy that people want to join the guild. That also reminds me, do I need to put buffs up? Our guild's in poverty because it's a new guild. Yeah, let me just buy him now. Oh yeah, we do. The XP one just ran out. Whenever it opens, it's just Challenger Arena, at least level 65. It's pretty lenient. I try to just make it so people can grow together. Oh yeah, subscribe and like, of course, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it if you subscribe and liked. Thanks. I appreciate it. It helps a lot. Y'all don't understand how much likes and subscribes actually help. Likes and comments and all that stuff helps the YouTube algorithm be like, yo, this place popping. And like live chat and all that stuff, like the more poppin' that something is, the more YouTube is like, yo, come watch this. So it helps the algorithm a lot. Oh, by the way, there's a good chance I'm gonna be in Shoguns. And by a good chance, I mean it's pretty much like guaranteed. This Thursday, I'm gonna be in the Shogun podcast. Frank, if you want an active community, like you can join the Discord, and anyone that's here too. If you click on the video description, I should have a Discord link. It's pretty active. We just, like today, we spent like 3 hours just jousting. We actually spent like 3 hours just jousting. Like we just played against each other, just chilled for like 3 hours today. That's one of the reasons why I'm so tired right now. Because like I played so much RTA today with people. And just tried different stuff out. So if you want an active community, it's a pretty good community. It's fun. People are helpful for the most part. As long as you're not like toxic or like inherently not trying to listen, people are usually pretty nice. Some people can't get upset at you, but just play them no heat. Most people are cool. Yeah, we play all the time, dude. We play and like we get on voice chat and talk. It happens a lot. That's how we get a lot of people for the tournaments too. That's one of the main places I get people for tournaments. All tournament signups are always on the Discord. The next one, I'm going to try to be more inclusive on the tournament side of things. We had a massive joust earlier today. Holy crap. It actually was like for over 3 hours. It was fun. I had a lot of fun. I'm really behind on work because of it, but I had a lot of fun. Hey, thanks for joining. But yeah, I like it. It's a good time. Sometimes a lot of people right now have been a little bit more inactive recently because it's finals week. Like I don't know if y'all are in college or high school or stuff like that, but yeah, I play way more than 3 hours at this point. It's getting kind of out of hand. Not gonna lie to y'all. Like y'all should know that most E7 YouTubers, I want to say all, except maybe like YDCB, have full-time jobs outside of Epic 7. Ironically. And it's like, besides YDCB. So the thing about it, it's like, we do this just because we like it. And I think that makes a really good community because for the most part, no one's trying to like misguide you or like be super toxic or anything like that. Like that's why people like, I really like the Epic 7 community because of that. Because most of the people are like have other stuff that they do. They're not just playing Epic 7 for like full-time job or anything. Like something like Smash, right? Like you can't like relate as much with people. Because everyone shares the same struggles. Like I had a ton of finals. Like I'm going home for a break after this week. It's one of the reasons I really wanted to stream today is because after this week, I'm not going to be able to stream for a while. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, like the Wyvern machine never stopped her though. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just finishing my daily stuff, um, so I can have more time to talk to you guys. Because I don't get to talk to you guys enough, and I'm not gonna get to talk to you guys in the coming future, which makes me really, really sad. Because I'm gonna be going home for winter break and hanging out with the family, going on a vacation. So I am still gonna upload videos. So make sure you subscribe and like for the videos, because I'm gonna schedule a bunch of them out. A lot of them are gonna be a little bit more scuffed, but some of them are gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be from like the from this Thursday. This one's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be another 2 week one. So I do apologize for that to the members. One big thing to the members, I want to know like y'all's thoughts. Like, what would y'all guys like to see added? What would you guys think it's cool? Do y'all like the new things that I've been doing, like posting some units and giving some thoughts, or asking about some video ideas and stuff like that? Because I know the big one is the streaming one, but I know this season gets very busy, and I feel like it's not fair to like all the members and stuff that are helping out with all the channel and stuff and motivation. So let me know at any point if you're a member and you're after like Deets, Mimika, or anyone out there that wants to become a member. What else can I do for y'all to make it better? So the new gear, yes, I have already made it. All right, you're starting to wake me up. Yo, I'm supposed to be getting sleepy at this point. It is 2 a.m. for me, and I have a full day of work tomorrow. Um, but I'll be okay. But y'all are starting to get me hype again. I can't stop the hype train. But I have actually talked about the set. It was kind of clickbaity, so it probably like flew under your nose. But in the why you shouldn't farm Katie's Hunt 11 video, I actually did talk about the sets. I think they're really cool. I just don't think it's worth farming them right now because it's only 11 and it's not worth it for a free-to-play player or even for a dolphin. It's just not worth it. But yeah, I did talk about the new sets. I have a lot of videos, dude. I feel like I've talked about like everything you could ever talk about this game almost. And then there's always new stuff that comes up. That's why the top fives help a lot. Like the weekly top fives that I do, and the reviews on Thursdays. I do those videos to give me time to do other videos that would take longer and to come ideas. Oh, testing it? Nah, dude, I'm not gonna farm it. Like, okay, since it's your first time, just to get an idea of where I am as a player, I am not a free to play player, right? I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say, oh, I'm a free to play player. Um, I am not a free to play player, but I'm not a whale either. I'm like a dolphin. But the new sets, it's like, yes, they are good, but the energy efficiency, and I talk about it too, it's just not worth it. Don't, like, they're gonna be good sets. Like, especially the penetration set. I'm actually really hyped for the penetration set for Luna and for like Akali and for like all these different units. The penetration set is pretty hype, but it's not worth it economically to do this at all. Don't do stage 11. You're not getting the most out of your energy. You are literally wasting energy. If you're a free to play player and you're trying to farm Katie's Hunt, you are wasting your resources. To answer your question, Mimika, I think it is worth it to build a Ravi. Speed set is still like, as much as I hate on speed set Ravi, and I will always hate on speed set Ravi. So okay, dudes, that's actually a really nice thing. I will change the icons and add some more emojis from the Discord because emojis are really, really good. And I will change the white background because that is kind of ugly. I learned how to crop, y'all. I learned how to crop in my time here. But my Ravi, like with Ravi, I am a firm believer that whatchamacallit, that counter set Ravi is the superior Ravi in every single aspect of the word. Counter set Ravi is just the better Ravi. There is no Ravi, like no speed Ravi, like at the pinnacles of both builds, the best counter Ravi, in my opinion, will always be better than the best speed Ravi. Now, counter gear is hard. Counter gear is hard to find. Nah. Counter set Ravi is just so much better. Counter set gear is harder to farm, and it does have higher requirements, right, for Ravi. But speed Ravi is still really, really powerful in a lot of scenarios. It's just like, if you guys watch the videos and stuff like that, You're never gonna see me, you're never gonna get those crazy Robbie solos where Robbie 1v4s on a speed set. But you will get those on a counter set. But speed set is still the most consistent because realistically, what you are giving up for a speed set is 20 speed. So think about it. The opportunity of counterattacking with your Robbie, is that worth 20 speed? Just let that sink in because that's essentially what you're giving up. The only difference between a speed Robbie and a counter set Robbie is 25 speed, realistically, assuming all gear is equivalent. Is that extra 20 speed worth you never countering when attacked? And when you counter, you build up S1 faster. You get a chance to stun. You heal. Yes, which is why people like Speed Robbie. But the thing about it is, it comes to a point, and this is another video that I really need to make and I really want to make, but I just want to have a period of time where I have more time to actually make this video. And the video is managing RNG in this game and like counter set. A lot of top players will tell you speed everything because counter is not reliable. But I'm the type of person that I will tell you counter set is more viable in certain scenarios. Why? You think about it. 20 speed versus counter set. That's essentially what you're giving up. That's the opportunity value. 20 speed realistically means your Robbie will take one extra turn every 7 turns. Your Robbie will take an extra turn than it would have. So a counter Robbie will take one less turn every 7 turns. So every 7 turns for a counter Robbie is 8 turns for a speed Robbie, right? That's kind of how it works because that's the difference in speed. But in those 7 turns, if you counter attack once, you already made up the value of you having a speed of having the counter set. Does that make any sense? Does that kind of make sense? I hope this is not like something super crazy and you've never like heard this before. But it takes one counter attack. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Maximizing RNG, and like the thing about it is, people always call me King Cheese and like, oh, you're a player that relies on RNG. It means you're bad. And a lot of top players have told me that in the past. A lot of top players, a lot of different people tell me you just luck sack all the time. But what they don't realize is I take a lot of things into consideration. Like with Sage Ball, I will take the fact that I have an 85% chance to just win the game if my S2 lands. 85% chance to win the game versus a 15% chance. Yes, if I did another unit and a tankier unit, it's like if you made a let's say if you use another unit instead of Sage Ball, it's more reliable, right? Sage Ball has that 15% and you could just lose the game. Same thing with Broman. Why use Broman when he can just lose you the game? If he just misses, then he's useless. So it's kind of like, but my thing, it's like, why wouldn't I take that? Because I beat opponents that are way stronger than me because I'm relying on higher odds but opportunity cost of being like, okay, I have a 30% chance I just straight up lose this fight, but I also have a 70% chance I win. So it's more polarizing, which means I lose to worse players because if I miss, I'm screwed. But if I hit, I win against better players. So it's very polarizing, but it makes up for worse gear quality. So it's kind of one of those things that like I take that into consideration, and that's why I really like counter set Robbie. Because if you really get down to the numbers, what you're giving up, hypothetically, between a counter set and a speed Robbie is essentially 25 speed, which is every 5 to 6 turns you get an X reward. Yeah, risk and reward. But the thing about it is it takes, in those 5 to 6 turns, if your Robbie procs counter set once, it already is better than if you had speed set. Just once. That's it. That's all you need. If you proc counter once in 5 to 6 turns, and it's a 25% chance, which means theoretically, if you get hit every turn, it's 1 in 4. Right? And that's assuming you only get hit once a turn. Sometimes you get hit multiple times a turn. But assuming you only get hit once a turn, in 5 turns, statistically, you will get a counter, which means that counter set is better than speed set. That, again, if you're a player that hates RNG, oh yeah, by all means, put her on speed, right? Like, if you're someone that just wants consistency, it's just better to do speed. But yes, to answer this very long, drawn out conversation, Mimika, it is okay, and it's actually better in some scenarios to have a Speed Robbie. Like if they have a very single target damage heavy team composition, Speed Robbie is better. I have to give that to Speed Robbie. Is it 20? I thought it was 25. Damn, dude, this feels like it procs a lot more. Yeah, so it's like a perfect trade-off. Except that's assuming you only get hit once. So where it would be worse if you're using your Robbie in scenarios. But that's the thing. If you see me draft Robbie, I don't draft Robbie into every team. If you see me draft Robbie, I only draft Robbie versus like AoE. Oh yeah, dude. But I'm not trying to say all units are better on counter. No. Heck no. Because Robbie just gets a lot from the counter. But other units, like Ryla, it's not. Counter's probably one of his worst builds. Because the opportunity value of 25 speed on a squishy unit, that extra turn, you're probably gonna get use out of it because that's one more turn you do damage versus that turn that you die. Celine? Celine. Counter Celine, no. That's odd. That sounds interesting. Weird and odd. I think Celine is just a unit that counters cleave. And very niche, which is why a lot of early game players shouldn't build her. She's only more for like late game counter. Yeah. There's also like functional uses, right? So one reason, so there's the opportunity value of RNG, which is why the unit that exemplifies the RNG value the most is Falconeer Clury. Think about how much Falconeer Clury is used. Why? This S3 is so polarizing. If you land this, there's a really good chance you just won the game, right? Think about that. Falconeer Clury, there's a 15% chance you straight up just lose. And players take that chance every single time because if you get it, you just win. So it's like, why wouldn't you do that? That's so good. She's so good. Falconeer Clury is insane. She's just amazing. But yeah, counter set is only 20%. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of stuff, and like that's why I really want to make a video about it. That's my next big brain and like my next project video that I really want to do, and I want to do justice to it. And so this gives me a lot of ideas. And hey, what's up, GG Insane Guy? But yeah, that's the idea of it. It's like when people like, yes, there is moments where you really did luck sack. There are times where you really just did get lucky. Like there are times where I've seen a Dizzy S3 and hit a Rylet and not proc Lullaby Lin and not land a single debuff. And that sucks. And that's part of the game though. Like statistically that will happen to you one time. So there is luck sacking in this game. And there will always be. But the like RNG and stuff like that, if you know how to use RNG in your favor and you play with units that utilize this RNG, you can get wins on players that are a lot better than you. You think my gear can match up to some legend player's gear? No. Bro, if I show you some other legend level player's gear, you'd be like, how do you even beat them? Ever. And a lot of the times is because like my Ravi will proc counter 5 times in a row. And then it's like they can't kill her because she proc counter 5 times in a row and got so much healing off of the S1 that they just couldn't keep up with it, and then they just lost the fight. Oh yeah, it's really good for Violet. I should skill enhance my Dizzy, Loki. I don't use my Dizzy that much anymore though, which is why I haven't. The only things I anti was up to the cooldown. I really don't use her for the damage. So that's the only reason I got her to the cooldowns. I wanted to save Mola. Oh yeah. Bro, I freaking hate the catalyst system. Catalyst system is trash. I don't want to have to use freaking catalyst for this. I could use these, I guess, but like, how often do I really need her to do more damage? Oh, Frenzy? Yeah, just watch the Frenzy video that I made yesterday. It actually covers it pretty well. A Talman's nuts. Ravi is probably the best spot she's ever been in this. Like, because she just solos tank teams by herself. If you get her off against a tank team with current RTA changes, it's OP. I know, but it's just, I hate Catalyst, dude. It's just like, I don't want to farm Catalyst. I hate it. I do want to rework my Kayron. I want to make him faster. He's too slow. I also did rework him slightly. The attack and crit damage dropped a little bit, but I want to make him faster. I want to make him 260 speed and catch people off guard with it. That's the goal for him. I'm gonna refer you to someone, Ludinator. You said you joined the Discord, right? When you can, maybe tomorrow, because they may already be asleep. He actually uses Ken all the time. He probably is your best Ken resource. I don't use him. That one time I used him, I thought he was great. I thought he was amazing. I thought he was like one of the most underrated units in this game. But yeah, add small cabbage for Ken stuff in the Discord. She. I'm pretty sure it's a she. She will help you out with Ken and with Ray and with any male unit in this game very well, and give you like probably one of the best builds you'll find for it. But yeah, on the topic of RNG, yes, RNG. As much as people hate to like hate on other players for RNG, I think the best players are the ones that take into consideration RNG. And it's also, but the thing about it, on the hindsight, that's also why units like Doris are so strong, because Doris minimize opponents' RNG, especially in arena, right? So that's like the other side of the coin. It's like you can use RNG in your favor, but you can also create scenarios where there is no RNG, like in Guild Wars, where, for example, Doris, which anything if you get for today's stream, if you take anything from today's stream, is build your Doris. She's amazing, because she doesn't allow room for RNG, especially in Guild Wars. If you put it in Guild Wars, you know for a certainty that your Doris will not get one shot. Yeah, same. I think I made that video and someone was like kind of confused about the terminology I used with enablers, and people don't understand enablers, and I think that's a disservice. That's why I made the video, right? Because like in card games, enablers are cards or heroes that like enablers are heroes that allow you to make broken combos. And to this day, it still shocks me that there are people that don't think Fallen Cecilia is just insane. Like, there are people that don't think, like even 3 months ago, there are people that you could have asked, what do you think about Fallen Cecilia? And they will tell you she's a balanced unit because she doesn't do a lot. And I'm like, how does she not do a lot? How does she not do a lot? How does she not do a lot? I just like look at her kit and I'm like, just because she's not killing you and she's not doing like all this other million passives doesn't mean Justice Barrier already enables so much things. The fact that you can play Shadow Squad with Fallen Cecilia, but I can't play Shadow Squad effectively because I don't have this unit, that already makes her an insane unit. That's so versatile. Yes. And that's the thing. That's, oh man, y'all are gonna get, I'm gonna be going off in a tangent. I'm not going to sleep today. So I have seen, so I'm in the Facebook group. If y'all didn't know, I'm in the Facebook group for Epic 7, and sometimes I read because it gives me good video ideas, right? So I don't comment in the Facebook group. I just read the stuff that's in the Facebook group. And there are times that I'm just like, what am I reading? Same thing with Reddit. There are times that I'm like, let me see what Reddit is suggesting today, or what Reddit thinks about this unit. Holy crap. I'm just like, what have I stumbled into? ML Cigarette is one of those. Like, I don't know what people want ML Cigarette, like, units to do, dude. Do people want, like a unit that will, like, kill the whole enemy team, heal your whole team to full, do your taxes, file everything, do your homework? Is that what people want from their units? They want everything. Yes. Is she a must-pull unit? No. ML Cigarette is not a must-pull unit. And I will tell you that right now. I don't think she's broken. I don't think she's overpowered. I don't think she's, like, insane. But she has one job that she does extremely well. Same thing with Holiday Yufin. People think Holiday Yufin is still bad. How do people still think Holiday Yufin is bad? I don't understand how people still think Holiday Yufin is bad. It's the same idea with ML Cigarette. People are like, oh yeah, ML Cigarette is bad because she doesn't do the she doesn't destroy the enemy team, do my taxes, and do all this other stuff. She does her job. She kills FCC. And people are like, one unit to counter another? Have you seen Arena? Have you seen how many Fallen Cecilias there are? They think Holiday Euphine is bad because she's just a counter to Basar. That's why people think Holiday Euphine is bad. Chris, hopefully you're still here. What is the Shadow Squad? Shadow Squad is... It used to just be Assassin Kali, who can get stealth, and you can't break stealth if you have a barrier. So Fallen Cecilia gives a barrier, and since you have stealth, they're doing less damage. Can't break the barrier, can't break your stealth. They can't target you with single target attacks. That's one of them, and the other one is Stene for Shadow Squad, and I can't find there. Oh, because I'm in that section. Another one is Spectre Tenebria because you can't single attack her, so it's like stealth. And then because she's stealthed and she has a barrier, the only way to hit her is with an AoE attack, and you can't really do that if you have a Fallen Cecilia there. That's the Shadow Squad. As far as a more recent addition to the Shadow Squad is Landy. I think she qualifies as Shadow Squad unit. Landy on Guiding Light qualifies as a Shadow Squad unit. Landy on Guiding Light is a Shadow Squad unit. Because she just hides and you can't do anything about her, and she destroys your team and you can't do anything to her. But yeah. Like RBSV. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's what Shadow Squad is. But okay, so yes, I think. Yeah, I want Guiding Light too, dude. Honestly. Yeah, SSB with... That just sounds toxic, dude. SSB with Guiding Light just sounds toxic, bro. Why would you do that to someone, bro? Why would you do that to someone, bro? That just sounds disgusting. Why? Why? Bro, why? Why is Guiding Light such a good artifact? That's just crazy to me. You will never be able to break the barrier. Because SSB has a 30% Aureus. That's just so stupid. That's crazy. That sounds stupid. But I wish I had Guiding Light. SSB, yeah. I mean, like, stealth is stealth. I don't... Stealth is stealth for 2 turns. It's just good. Your theory, they want to make... Yes, I do think that's what they're trying to do. So here's the thing. I do think they're trying to make it Rock, Paper, Scissors. But a lot of the people complaining, and I don't want to hate on y'all, that a lot of y'all are... might be early to mid-game players, right? And I know a lot of you guys might be. But a lot of mid-game to early game players, and even early late game players, are very misguided. All PvE content in this game is optimized to a T. There is no PvE content in this game that cannot be cleared by free-to-play heroes. Let that sink in. There is no PvE content that can't be cleared by essentially free-to-play heroes. It is extremely optimized in PvE. There are guides for every PvE that you can get millions of teams to help you through it. Or there are units like Tamarine that can also help you. So, but people still want more diversity in PvE units. But the thing about it is it's already so optimized that, like, why would someone spend resources on that PvE unit necessarily? So I get why they're not releasing that many more PvE units. I still think it's nice to have PvE units to be added to the game, right? That can actually kind of help. Like top model Luluka, surprisingly, a good PvE unit. Ironically, really, really strange. Stena, same thing. But yeah, that's like Zero Leader. Like you don't really need that many more PvE units. I understand it'd be really cool. Landy can do A13, right? So Landy was a new unit that can do A13 pretty well. So there are uses for PvE units, but for the most part, also think of it as a company. If you're Smilegate and your PvE content is essentially drained, right? You already finished your PvE is completed. It's like super optimized. If you're Smilegate, if you release a hero that is OP in PvE or just really good in PvE, how many people would actually pull for that hero? If I ask you right now, how many people would actually pull for Luluka? Most of you guys would say no. But if I told you, how many of you guys would pull for... What's a really broken PvP, only PvP unit? Honestly, even Series is a good PvE unit. You can make everything for PvE. But if you make like Mortalex is going to sell a lot more than Luluka. right? Or like an Alencia. If they did an Alencia banner, if they did an Alencia and a Luluka banner, right? Let's say Alencia and Luluka banner. You have resources to pull for one. Are you pulling for Luluka or are you pulling for Alencia? Think about that. Are you pulling for Luluka or are you pulling for Alencia? 99% of you guys would say Alencia. But Alencia has like no PvE presence. Luluka has no PvP presence. But her PvE, Luluka is probably one of the best PvE units in this game. Like, that's the thing. Like, Luluka is one of the best PvE units in the game. Easily. Yeah, if you already have Luluka, that's fine. But I'm just saying, if you didn't have both, and you could go for one or the other, you're going to be going for Alencia. And most people will be going for Alencia. So from a company standpoint, it doesn't make sense for Smilegate to release new PvE heroes when all PvE content, like Lilias is insane, right? And people are probably pulling more for Rari than for Lilias. Even though Lilias has a better PvE and PvP. So it's like... Yes. So why would Smilegate, as a company, sell you a product that you're probably not going to buy when they can sell you something they know you're going to like eat up and triple SS and like spend all your money on because it looks broken for PvP? It doesn't make sense standpoint. It doesn't make gameplay design wise. Because then it's like, okay, we have a million PvE heroes, but all the content in Epic 7 for PvE is optimized. So why do I need this PvE hero when I can clear all the PvE content? I mean, yeah, I would prefer Alencia. Oh, yeah. Y'all know I'm going to make a worth it video on Alencia, and I'm going to tell you right now, on that worth it video, I'm going to be like, oh, bro, Alencia is really good. She's not for everyone. I will say that. She's not for everyone. But she's so good. She's so good. I want her so bad. But yeah, that's from a company design standpoint. So, going back to what Lunator was saying, the rock, paper, scissors system. The other thing that Smilegate has set up a lot of precedents. And if you haven't kept up with the story of Smilegate, there was a lot of drama the first year of Smilegate, and it actually almost ruined the game. I actually thought this game was going to be dead before year 2. I really did think so, because they butchered so many updates back to back and pissed off so many people that I really thought Epic 7 was going to die. I really thought Epic 7 was a dead game for a period of time. This was like a year ago. They have made a lot of bigger changes, but one of the biggest things was that they made it so nerfing units was something they didn't want to do in the future. And they have stood by the statements. They will not nerf units, and if they do, they will give you a selector, which is why they have taken the stance. We don't want to nerf units, because if we nerf a unit, then we have to give you a ticket that gives you any unit in the game, and then the whales and people who spam are not going to be happy, because then you get to have any unit in the game and they don't get to have it. So there was a lot of drama in Epic 7, right? Like nerfs, ML problems, there was no Mystic Summon, there was no pities, there was no Mystic Pity. MLs were actually extremely rare. Like they were like 1 in a million, like insanely high odds. Like imagine all of the ML heroes you pulled from Galaxy bookmarks and all the Mystic heroes that you never pitied. That's all the ML heroes you would actually have. And no Covenants either. Just MLs and non-Mystic Pities. Think about that. That's all the MLs you would have. I would not have half the MLs I do. So I'm glad they changed a lot of the stuff, right? But they have put themselves in a corner where they can't release units that they're going to be... Like, they can't nerf units, right? So they don't want to make it... So typically what ends up happening is... It's like, what ends up happening is, because they're not nerfing units, they have to balance the game somehow. Like, think of what was dominating in Season 2. A Tywin, Crow, Emo Haste, FCC, like all the tanks, right? It was tank central. Especially FCC. FCC, if you win an arena, 70% of arena defenses were... And hey, what's up, Adria? But 70% of arena defense were FCCs. So, a unit like Emo Sigrid just makes sense. A buff like Landy just makes sense. Because they know what's OP, they have to nerf it somehow, but they can't directly nerf the unit, so what are they going to do? Either release a new unit that counters, or buff another unit. So that's how they do balancing in Epic 7. right? They're never gonna nerf. That's something we have to accept. Is they're not going to nerf, and it's gonna get to a point in a couple of years where they're not gonna be able to release a unit to counter a certain unit, and it's gonna become, or the counter will be oppressive. Why do I know this? We don't have to look any further than Last Rider Crawl. If we look at a unit like Last Rider Crawl, he became a problem unit. He completely changed the RTA meta. Personally, I think for the worst because it was stupid tanky. You know what his job was supposed to be? To counter SSB. And to counter tank teams. You know what he ended up doing? Making tank teams stronger? And still letting SSB roam free, because if you pull Emerald Crawl, you can just use Emerald Crawl SSB. So it's like, yes, SSB was deleted from Guild Wars upon his release. But it's like, it's those adverse effects that they made this skill to counter CZ Bellona primarily. But it ended up countering a million other units in this game. Like side effects, like Dizzy, counter Dizzy got destroyed by this. Just Dizzy overall got destroyed by this. Stanley got a massive buff from this. T-Suri got a massive buff from this. Fallen Cecilia got a massive buff from this. Yeah, they'll eventually get to that point. But think about it, Emerald Crawl got to that. Emerald Crawl was supposed to be a C-side counter and a counter to Bruiser teams. That's all he was supposed to be. So it's where we're headed to. It's definitely getting to power creep, but it's gonna be tough. Oh yeah, and then there's things like Arby, bro. Dude, Arby, they have released so many things. Like Arbiter Villager, they did such a massive buff, and they even nerfed him already, but they're never gonna nerf him again. And like they have released so many Arbiter Villager counters. I think Arbiter Builder has probably the most counters in this game. And you know who's still extremely powerful? Arbiter Villager. He's still arguably the best unit in the game. ML Haste? Did ML Haste kill Arbiter Villager? No. You know who he killed? May Chloe. May Chloe took the biggest brunt of it. Ironically. And then ML Haste? Oh, he was supposed to just counter revive teams? Bruh. Emil Hayes was supposed to counter Arbiter Villager, right? People were saying, oh, niche unit. Niche unit, right? Niche unit? This unit was one of the most picked units in RTA Season 2 near the end. No Arbiter Villager. Just Emil Haste. Like, Emil Haste was one of the most picked units, no Arbiter Villager. A niche unit that people were like, only counters revive teams. And it's actually one of the best units in this game, arguably, like before the RTA nerfs. Then you got something like Top Model Luluka that was supposed to counter Arbiter Villager, right? Top Model Luluka, oh, she's countered Arbiter Villager. Shoo, you know what they have done? Tank Arbiter Villager, which you're not gonna kill through Ottoman Aureus and a barrier. And then the other one that other people have gone for is 260 speed Arbiter Villagers. And I have seen a couple, and I'm like, this is disgusting. I hate it. But it is what it is. It has become because they want their Arby's to outspeed Amalulukas. Like, it's insane how Arbiter Villager continues to be one of the best units in this game, even with all the counters they released. They released Angelica. People thought that Angelica was the answer. They were like, Angelica's the answer? Wasn't the answer. Really good, yes. Ironically, better for Arena because of Ruella Light rather than Arby. Also, inadvertently, oh, dude, this unit's actually kind of insane. I really want to build mine. Simple Angelica, ironically, not even used to counter Arby. You know what people use her for? For the speed buff, attack buff, and for the dual attack chance. Counter Arby? Nah, not really. Oh yeah, I agree. 260 speed Arby is a thing too. Like, no matter what, like they would like. Ironically, the units that are supposed to counter another unit have side effects that happens to it. Also Wyvern. Yeah, there's also the Wyvern one, which is stupid to me. That's so weird. I see her paired up a lot with Ross, Sten, and Landy. By the way, if y'all were wondering, her with Ross and Sten is actually pretty nasty. It's pretty annoying, actually. Really good and really hard to counter, too, for some reason. So, alright. I've gotten into a million talks. I was supposed to have gone to sleep an hour and a half ago. So, it was just good talks. I'm happy we got to have the stream. It's been a while since I've gotten to stream with you guys and talk to you guys. And I really, really like these conversations. It's been a while since I just got into do conversations. It always happens when you least expect it. It's like those night conversations that just turn into really good stuff. But overall, to summarize everything, RNG is a part of skill to an extent, of course. There's gonna be a lot of power creep in this game, and because Smilegate refuses to nerf, there's gonna be inadvertent effects to other units. Counter Robbie is better, and units countering one unit or a certain unit is okay. Not every unit needs to be Arbiter Vildred. And it should never be another unit as Arbiter Vildred. I don't want another Emil Crow. Emil Crow really just absolutely destroyed the meta. I just don't want Emil Crow ever again. And something like Emil Crow to happen again. It's just disgusting. I don't want it to happen again. It's not something I want it to happen. So I don't want units that are this strong to just be released and completely just break the meta. So it's okay to not have a unit. Like Tamara Luluka was a unit that was a well-designed unit. She's really good at what she does. She's really good overall, but doesn't break the game. So we're getting to a point where it's gonna get really hard for Smilegate to buff units, release units without power creeping the game. There are units that are just absolutely power crept. Like, you want to know a unit that just absolutely power crept? Yuffie. Yuffie's useless. Why would you ever use Yuffie? Lilibet? Why would you ever use Lilibet over Sigrid? Why would you ever use Lilibet over Top Model Luluka? Why would you ever use Lilibet over just any other extinction unit? Over Specimen Cess? Power crept as heck. And she's such a cool design. Like, her design's actually kind of lit. Another unit that got power crept, Martial Artist Ken. It's really sad, but he actually got power crept. He used to be one of the best units in the game. Power crept. You know who also got power crept? Haste. One of the best units in the game. Power crept. Who else has gotten power crept? That it's just weird seeing them. Like how bad they are now. Slowly starting to get power crept, Alencia. Like, actually. It's really sad. That she's actually starting to get power crept. Yuffie. When would you ever use Yuffie over any other cleave unit in this game? Think about it. When would you ever use Yuffie? Ever. Ever. Banshee 13, why not just use Bikin or Valen or just the mouse? I want to build my shoe. I do want to build my shoe. I just have too many units I need to build. I do want to build my shoe. But there's no point. There's like, why use Yuffie? She actually has no purpose. She's completely power crept. You know who's getting power crept? Charles. You remember our boy Charles? Correct your posture, Charles? Charles Mackey with the stick? He's not that good anymore. He only is good for Guild Wars defense. That's it. That's all Charles is good for. And some PvE content, if you really want to use him there. Charles used to be broken. He used to be one of the best units. He's actually power crept. Like the game is actually starting to get power crept. Bellona? Still really good for PvE. I'm not even going to say Bellona. Bellona's still really good for PvE. Violet? Like, why would you use Violet? Why not just use Alencia? Or Violet? Or Mursa? Bro, even Mursa's just better than Violet. Why would you use Violet? Half the time, it's like, why would you use your Violet? There's no point. Or Violet got power crept on release. Like, Top Model Lucas is better. Who else who's gotten power crept? Who used to be just absolutely bonkers? Rusid. Specialty change Rusid. There's so many better CR pushers. Why use Rusid when you can use all these other CR pushers like Athletica, Cerise, Cedom? Like, So I could literally go down the line. Armentia, dude, who is this? She used to be kind of good. She's nothing now. She's useless. Like, why use her? Luluka actually got a lot better with buffs. Karek never been in the meta. I always just been trash. Always. Which is kind of sad to think about. Dizzy. Dude, Dizzy is getting power crept. Let that sink in. Dizzy is getting power crept. Dizzy. The unit that used to dominate Season 1 RTA along with SSB is getting power crept. That's so sad. In a way, it's really sad to see all these OP units just get power crept. It's like weird. Like Celestial Mercedes, why would you ever use Celestial Mercedes? Roman, there's so many better strippers. Better Aether, who's that? Like Jurado? Jurado got power crept too, bro. Jurado was feasting. He got power crept. We already talked about Charles. Cecilia actually has gotten better with time. But she got buffs. I actually got... Armin was one of the units that actually got really good. Rose is one of the units that retroactively got better. We also do see retroactive getting better, though. Another one is like Rose. Retroactively got better. Like, Rose actually retroactively got better. Lilia's is not power crept yet. She's actually stronger now than ever. There are units that will also come back into the meta. The only thing I can compare it to is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like with Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like you have old cards come back occasionally because of new units coming in. Rose has had her EE for ages. But only now are people like, dude, Rose kind of lit. Rose is actually kind of OP. I really need to start building my Rose. Ravi has gotten so many buffs. But yeah, Chloe retroactively got better. With Wyvern 13, Chloe actually found a purpose, ironically. Chloe went, like, didn't need a buff, and she's actually used now because of Wyvern. So it's kind of cool, right? So we retroactively get units too. Martial Artist Ken is probably the biggest one that got power crept. That is just like, how can this unit be power crept? Assassin Cartua got power crept. Why use Ascat? Like, half the time it's just like for a gimmick. That's it. He used to be OP for arena defense. But there's Oath Key now, there's all this other stuff. There's too much good stuff now to counter it. Sass? Bro, who's this? If I told you that this was one of the best cleavers back in the day, would you have believed me? If I told you this cleaver was OP as hell, even without Wind Rider, would you have believed me? No. You'd rather be like, you're tripping. Who's Sass? Who's this guy? Who's Haste? Who's this guy? Right? Sad. It's really sad. It makes me sad. Bloodbath Karen's Loki star. Actually, Bloodbath Karen's still good. She's chilling. She's chilling in her own niche. She just cleave. A Sid, a unit that got retroactively better. Partially because of the AI change. And he did get a buff, but he didn't really start getting attention. Crescent Moon Rin, she got buffed though. But she's just now being noticed by people. So basically, if you didn't get a buff, you're probably getting a power crept at this point. Bro, Destina, this one actually hurts me in the inside. Destina used to be the best healer in the game, dude. There are so many other units that do what Destina does, but better. Ray is better at cleansing and putting up immunity. Montmorency is better against control teams. Like, Rowana is better against SSB. Like, Destina's still okay. She still has her niche. But, like, why build her when you can build all these other OP healers? Chloe got power crept because of Emo Haste. Emo Haste was inadvertently. Desert Jewel is a unit that is retroactively getting better. Because of Cerise and control teams becoming stronger, he actually retroactively got buffed. So that's kind of cool. Seeing these Desert Jewel Basar becoming better. It's actually pretty cool. Angelica. Oh, man. Angelica's probably the biggest power creep, dude. Angelica is actually, I think, is probably the unit that was in one of the highest positions at one point in the game. And just got completely phased out, bro. But yeah, F for a little bit, bro. Karen's still good. Karen actually is retroactively. Karen, I actually think got better. Bro, Rose is nuts, dude. Bro, Rose is actually nuts. There's so many good units that should get buffs retroactively. Bro, remember when re-rolling was re-roll for Angie? Yeah, what Meme just said. Angie used to be the reroll unit, bro. I know that's nostalgic, and for new players, if you're just coming in, if I told you, dude, I would not recommend people to build Angelica now. There's no reason for you to build Angelica. Nah, dude, that's never gonna happen. Have you seen these base stats? Do you see this speed? Do you see this speed? She doesn't have a cleanse either. Ray's just strictly a better version of Angelica. Like, he's just strictly better. With maybe less health, like a little bit less health and a little bit less defense. He just does so much more. And then there's like the Stina. Like, dude, it's so hard to make a good Stina. Look at this base speed. What are you gonna do with this? It's a turtle. This is actually a turtle. Oh yeah, dude, don't remind me of all the mola I've wasted on these units. That actually hurts me a lot. If they did a refund on mola tickets, I would never have mola programs again. Ever. But yeah, dude, this one hurts a lot. Angelica. Lots a unit that actually got buffed retroactively. He got better with new addition of PvE content, ironically. So that was cool. There's some cool stuff. And 3 stars just need SE changes at this point. Litica is like super niche now. Iseria retroactively got better. The longer the game went on, Iseria is probably one of the units that actually was like reverse. Like Iseria actually became better with time. Honestly, dude, if they just let me refund my units and just give me half the resources, I would be happy. The Cena is waifu, dude, which is when I make it. Yeah, it's like there's some units that it's like, wow, dude, Iseria is actually one of the units that like the longer this game goes, bro, the longer that this game goes, the stronger Iseria gets. Elmo Crawl with Iseria, OP. Mortalix with Iseria, really good. Dark Corvus, like all, and then like the artifacts that are coming out, bruh. The longer that this game goes on, the stronger that Iseria gets. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Alpha was done on release, actually. It's really sad. She was actually done on release. I actually forget this unit exists sometimes. I actually forget that this unit exists sometimes. Wow. This is a unit in this game. Y'all knew this unit, bro? Y'all knew this unit existed? Because I forgot. I actually forget about that she exists. She's actually, like, she's so forgettable. Lane actually did better than I expected. She's alright. Oh yeah, Shuri, another unit that got retroactively better. The longer the game goes on, Shuri gets better. Same with Watcher Shuri. They just get better as time goes on. But yeah, like, there is power creep, and then they have to buff. Like, Ludwig is actually just trash, dude. Like, I still don't, like, I made a Ludwig video, and I was like, no, don't pull for Ludwig. And I had so many people hating on me because they're like, nah, Ludwig is so good. You pair him with Blaze Dingo, you pair him up with, like, Judith, and you, like, cleave everything. And I'm like, bruh, what are you cleaving? What are you cleaving, bro? What are you cleaving nowadays with Ludwig? Ludwig ain't doing none. Ludwig's chilling. He's like, people watch YDCB and they're like, bro, YDCB stomping with Ludwig. What you mean? And I'm like, dude, have you seen YDCB's gear? Do you have that gear? You guys can put that in every other cleave unit. It would do the job up better. Like, you need insane numbers and to really like the unit. Because you can literally just switch this unit for almost any other unit in this game. Imagine if you put that gear and then the double Oxlots, the double Lots team with a Sermia. Imagine a Sermia, bro. That's 100% you're killing 2 units in the game. Yeah, I mean, like, that's cool. Like, yeah. If you really like the unit. But I'm not going to tell you, pull this unit. Because I can't tell you that. I can't tell you with good conscience to pull this unit. Okay, I know this one's going to piss people off. Because I actually got into a big discussion with this in the Discord. Pavel, people were getting super salty at me. And even in the video too. And they were like, bro, Pavel's actually good. And I'm like, alright, hear me out. How often, A, do you ever see yourself drafting Pavel? B, the gear requirement. Have y'all seen the gear requirement on this guy? It's insane. It's actually like 99.9% of the player base will never reach the stats that Pavel requires to function properly. There is a chance. I will admit to this, and that's what we got to. There is a chance that Pavel can become good in the future. And it can work well. For Twix, I know that I'm not saying the Sermia one. It's just like I could just even like, okay, it's not the fact that it's an AoE versus a single target. Like with the Sermia and the Ludwig, that's what you're referring to, right, Twix? I could see why you would have a problem with that because it's like single target versus AoE. But the thing about it is they both essentially function as a cleave. And they both mostly are used in Guild Wars. And the other thing is BBK also just does better AoE most of the time. And BBK can actually deal with units like Arbiter Builder pretty easily. It's just the idea of like using like cleave and like team compositions and like using X versus C. And Ludwig requires insane setup. Prince Souls, I really, really like if someone one day, if I am proven wrong and Pavel becomes meta without a buff or without anything, and I will be the happiest person. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if it ever happens, I'll be the first person to be like, yo, I was wrong. Pavel OP. But with no buff, no EE, him becoming part of the meta is unlikely. What? Pocket pick? Yes. I could see Pavel being a really good pocket pick. If I had insane speed gear that I wasn't giving to my top model Luca because they're going to be competing for speed gear, I would probably give, I would put it on Pavel because it'd be kind of cool, right? He actually has insane base stats. Like, y'all realize this speed is faster than Cerise. And the attack is like one of the highest in the game. He has insane stats. His S2 ratio is not great. His S3 ratio is like nutty, right? So he can actually kill certain units. And I could see him becoming like 300 speed Pavels, like an outspeed at Cerise. But it's just the setup is just too much for Arena, for Guild Wars, for all this other stuff. There's no way, bro. I really want to believe, Prince. I really do. I really, really, really want him to be OP and not require like insane setup and not be like why build him versus X unit, right? I like yes, he will function. I'm not trying to say he's trash. It's just like to make him. I have seen some insane Pavels. Like who is it? Native ME and I think God Doggos have really good Pavels and they make him look fire as hell. They make Pavel actually look really good. But then you see their gear and you're like, damn, that's kind of OP. That's kind of good, right? That's look really good, right? And then again, it also depends as a player. What do you value? I mean, yeah, he has his place in the meta, but it's just like you never see him. T-Cern just does the same thing, bro. T-Cern's such a good AoE unit and does like debuffs and stuff. But like then again, you guys have to realize where I'm coming from. I am a late game player that primarily focuses on RTA. That is my focus, is RTA. Right? I'm not gonna act and say that Pavel is like the best for Guild Wars. I was in a top 100 guild, which is better than most people, but there's probably people that in the very top echelons are gonna want it. And then depends how far you want to go. Pavel's like Pavel, I can guarantee you he's not a good RTA unit. Like I may not know every little detail about Guild Wars. I may not know every little detail about Arena. But I can tell you in RTA, this guy's not doing anything. And even in Arena, this guy's not doing anything. What's this guy gonna do? Actually, I did see a really cool cleave with him. With Flan. It was actually a really cool fun cleave. The cleave was like it was him, Vivian, Flan, and Basar. I thought it was really cool. Like, yes, don't me being negative Nancy. I don't want you to feel that you can't build these units. And I really should preface this by saying in every single one of my videos, me saying this unit is bad or not great or whatever shouldn't demotivate you from building units that you enjoy to use. I occasionally build fun units too, in my own special type of way, even if people say they're trash, right? Yeah, although I'm a meta sheep, right? So I mostly just build meta units. Like if I go down my roster, the only unit that I have built for myself that ironically became meta was Robbie. I have my Robbie built for a very long time. I have had my Robbie for a very long time. And it just ironically happened that she got insane buffs. And I was like, well, I was already abusing her. So she became meta even though she was already good. So like the thing about it, it's like me telling you this, and just because a unit is niche doesn't mean you don't have to build it. Like I use Karen, bro. I use Karen in PvE because I think she's cute. I think Karen's cute. So I'm gonna use her. And I built a Wyvern team and a Banshee team built around Karen. So once a day or several times a day if I'm doing Wyvern, I get to see Karen, right? Because she's great. She's amazing. She looks great, right? She looks good. I like her. I built Aether for the memes. Just for fun, right? I'm still working really, really hard on my Destina. Even though I know deep down Destina is not that great. I'm still trying. And every single Reforged event, I always try new gear on her. I'm really trying to make my Destina work. I want to make my Destina work. Even though I know she's not the best unit, I want to make her work. And if you have that motivation, you can make it work. There's a legend level player that uses Lilibet. He uses the Iseria, Tama, Watcher Shuri, Cleave, and he uses Lilibet. So bro, who am I to tell you don't use Lilibet? One of the top players uses her. Why does he uses Lovewing? So it's like just because a unit is not good or the most optimized or anything, this is just placeholder. I really should sell these boots. But just because a unit is not optimized or not the best, doesn't mean you shouldn't build them if you enjoy them, right? They're still fun. Like I still want to build my Pearl Horizon. Will she be meta breaking? No. Does she look like a really fun unit? Yes. I really want to build her because she looks fun. She looks really fun. Same thing with Crescent Moon Rin. I really want to build my Crescent Moon Rin. But half the time I have to build meta units for videos or for other things. That's also why I'm doing like counter BBK right now. And also what I did counter Luna. Yes. If you really like a unit enough in this game, you can use them. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you X unit is OP when they require insane setup and require insane gear. Like, I'm not going to tell you that. Like, that I don't want to misguide you. Right? I don't want to misguide you. Right, that's my goal as a YouTuber. I know YouTubers like to do it for the clicks. But Pavel, I'm going to say it like it is. He's good if you have insane gear and are willing to commit. But are you really willing to commit all those resources and build a team specifically around Pavel? And if you really like him, you can definitely make him work, bro. Yeah, see, like Pearl Horizon, like people love it. Like I love my units. I love playing with Melissa. I still want to build my Melissa again, but I just don't do it because I hate Oxlots. I think Oxlot is ugly. Like, look at this guy. Oxlot big ugly. That's, if you ask me why I don't play Cleave, it's not because I don't have the speed gear. I have the speed gear. But look how ugly this guy is, bro. I can't bring myself to use Oxlots. I can't. Every time I build him and I use him, I'm like, why am I using this guy? He's ugly. But he's broken. But it's like, you know, it's one of those things. Complete sidetrack. But yes, units like Pavel, yes, they can function. I will tell you how they can function. But I mean, yeah, look, it's if I really wanted to make a speed demon, like, okay, this is gonna feel like a massive flex. I'm not trying to flex, but if I really wanted to make a speed demon unit, I would just use this. Like, I have the speed gear. I have the speed gear to make a Cleave team. Like 21 speed here, and then I have the speed gear. I just literally don't like Oxlots, and I'm not gonna build them because I don't like them, right? So it's like, and I build my Luna, and I build my Landy, and I build Aether. Just at the end of the day, bro, all I can tell you is whether a unit is meta relevant, and whether I see potential in the unit. Whether you really want to make him work because you really like him, that's completely up to you, bro. People still use Cowrick. Top level players use Cowrick because Cowrick looks sick as hell. Like, look at this guy. People have like Endline, OP, SSS Cowricks that are nutty as heck, and I have fought a couple of them, and they were extremely scary, and they made it work. So that's the big thing. Like, you can always make a unit work, and then there's a chance in the future that your odd niche pick might get a buff, like my Robbie. And now I have a meta unit that I love and I love to use, and it's one of my favorite units. So, oh, Grim Builder is insane still, dude. Grim Builder is good. I will say Grim Builder is good just because of the imprint. That's literally it. If you want to tell me, like, it's enough to make him relevant. Yeah. Like, it's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. At the end of the day, that's another video, and I really, 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 really need to end the stream because it's 3 a.m. But essentially, at the end of the day, your experience in this game is your own. At the end of the day, what matters is that you're having fun in this game. If you really think about it, you playing Epic 7 is not going to affect your life unless you're addicted to it, which you really should try not to be addicted and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, your experience with Epic 7 and the reason you play this game is to have fun. So, the whole point is to have fun in this game. And I want to make that video because a lot of the times people forget and start thinking of Epic 7 as a chore. Why did you start playing this game? It was because you enjoyed it. You liked the art. You liked the heroes. You liked the building. You liked the fun of it. Or if you're like me, you like the competitive aspect to it. You like stomping on noobs. You like flexing on heroes. And that's fine. At the end of the day, it is your experience and you can do what you want to do. If you want to make and put your best gear on Pavel and have fun, then yeah, bro, do it. It's fine. It's great. I actually would applaud you for that because I think you're having the most fun. If it's to collect waifus, all means, bro. We have someone in the Discord that all he does is build husbandos, and she's chilling. And I have tried Seedom Pavel, and it does not work. Especially not in the current meta. You're gonna get eaten alive by Assassin Sids and by Chaerons, by Arbiter Vildrits, by Sage Ball and Sasan most recently. And the soul requirement is pretty high too. I have tried it. I have lost to it before. I have lost to a Pavel Seedom. I'm not trying to tell you it's not unviable. I'm just trying to tell you it's gonna be really hard. But look at freaking what's his name? Dan Fam. He uses Kizuna Eye in champion level arena, bro. And he's loving life. So you can use your Pavel cleave all the way to champion arena and be happy. My goal is to one day get to legend. I'm a sweat. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a sweaty whale. And you can tell, not a whale, but like, I'm a sweat. Like, look at this. Why am I legend in preseason RTA? That makes no sense. Like, I have to enjoy the game mode. That's the only reason I would do this and submit myself to this torture. And yes, Lilius is broken. If you're an early or mid game player, I would highly suggest you to pick up Lilius. She's an amazing PvP unit and she's an amazing PvE unit. It's one of the best things you can do to your account is pick up a Lilius. Fits into a wide variety of team comps. Does a lot. But alright, I actually really need to go to sleep. And this usually happens when I'm really tired and sleep deprived. Is usually when I start getting into like these long rants and like hot takes. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video and the stream. We'll have another one tomorrow, so make sure you join. If you enjoyed it, make sure you subscribe. It really helps the channel a lot. And I do other videos where I actually do gather my thoughts. This is just raw thoughts. And a lot of these raw thoughts will eventually become into videos. That's usually how it works. And I see what you guys ask me. But yeah. So thank you all for joining. If you like the stream, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and consider becoming a member. Oh yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I know it was a late stream. Hopefully I'll wake up earlier next time. Or not wake up earlier. Do my job, do my work earlier, and be able to stream earlier tomorrow. And then we'll have a good time tomorrow, and I'll be way more awake and not be dying. Alright, that's all I got. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.